Bow! What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for tuning into the Nick and Mal Show. I am Nick Johnson, one half of the Nick and Mal Show. And to the left of me is my brother, Malcolm Stowe.
Koala.
The second half of the Nick and Mal Show. If you had interrupted me one more time, I would have really slapped you. Like, real shit. Like, if y'all don't, y'all obviously y'all didn't see
that would have been fair.
I tried to start the podcast
you
3
think
times.
You would smack me? Your hand wouldn't even get up.
You think I'm scared to fight you in that way?
It's not even being scared.
No,
you just know the principles.
Like, all y'all are good people.
Damn, this is my first time. Y'all about to get it.
Yo,
poppin'.
you
What's
really
up?
can't do shit. It's weak.
What happened?
You really won't do shit.
For me to put my
First of
hands-
all, if you rose your hand to Mally's face, he would have caught that shit.
That wouldn't happen.
He would have bent your arm the other way, snapped it, bone would have came out. You would have fell there, and we would just continued on with the podcast.
Yeah, so Paul got to speak for you now.
Why?
Because Nick's not here. He's on the floor crying.
Oh wow,
Oh,
that's crazy.
shit.
Oh no,
that's an
Paul,
intro.
No, I'm
What?
saying Paul got to reenact on what you would do to me if you would put your hand up.
But the thing is, on some real shit, like, all of you guys here are very good people. You guys are very fun. You guys are very chipper. I think that's the Long Island in you. You're very chipper.
What the hell is
I don't
love
know
that.
what it
I
would
love
take
that.
for
I
me to
love that.
fight y'all. Like, what would Malcolm have to do for me to literally try to beat him up? Knowing me, knowing my personality, my temperament, what would Malcolm have to do for me to beat him up?
Maybe deny sex from you.
Oh, shit.
Wow, that's rape. I don't want to put that out there.
Yeah, no,
I don't want to put that out there.
No,
But ladies and gentlemen, we didn't even
no.
introduce our guest. Y'all know Bala. We got Bala in the building. This is his 4th time on the Nick and Mal Show.
Shout out Bala.
And we also got a very special individual, a fan of the Nick and Mal Show, a photographer by trait.
I guess, yeah.
Paul.
Let's get it. Facts.
Skrilla P in the building.
Skrilla
Let's get
P.
it.
Where you get that name from?
Honestly, my cousin gave it to me. Yeah.
He thought you was gonna be a rapper.
I mean, you heard the tracks, with Malcolm when he was on it. You remember?
Wait, that was you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me get that.
I didn't know that. Here, you got some coffee.
So you like
Don't
my
drink
verse?
too
'Cause,
much,
like,
yo. The last time I gave you coffee, you was tripping.
Yo, did you like my verse? Because honestly, like, you ruined my whole day. The way you reacted to my song. Just that shit was fire. That shit, yo, his verse was fire.
No, Malcolm snapped. Me and Malcolm got into a fight when he
Really?
I don't remember any of it because it was a bad.
He
It was
blacked
bad.
out. He blacked out.
It was a bad situation. But maybe
Why?
you play it for us again after the show.
You don't got to.
No,
That was like one of like the first songs I think like I ever recorded my voice on. And I was talking to Scala. Ooh, I'm gonna call you by your real name. Put your government out there, because I really know this guy.
What you mean?
Everybody calls him Bala. It was math. The way I met Scala was like really funny.
How'd you guys
Bala.
meet?
In school.
How did we meet? First time I
We were
saw
on
this
Xbox,
man.
but like on Xbox,
Yeah,
I never
knew
knew
this
him.
man before on Xbox before anything, and I would see him around school. I didn't like this man.
Wow.
Did not like him
This is
because he had his
interesting.
thick ass glasses.
This guy
in like 6th grade.
This is
I
my
was very
first time now.
judgmental, and I was like, "Yo!" But then he would walk by, and everybody would be like, this guy's weak. This guy's weak." And I was like, "I'm weak."
Bala is like, yo, you was telling me that anybody that's funny, Bala hates them.
See?
Because he
Thank you.
swear he's the
Thank
funniest
you.
nigga in the world.
Thank you.
But by the way, you're a funny guy.
Yeah, though.
Do you want to tell the
Bala's
people
funny.
the bit that you came up with when you was in Connecticut?
What bit?
The Connecticut bit, the limping bit.
Oh, I didn't come up with that then. That's just part of my set.
Oh, you've been had that.
Been had that.
Oh, wait,
Wow,
you're
wow.
lying.
Nah, I've been had that.
Ah.
And I wasn't trailing, right?
No, you wasn't capping at all. So
That shit's
basically,
dead.
if Bala's not
What's
going to
the
tell the
bit?
joke,
What's
he
the
has,
bit?
he has
You
a
tell. I don't
joke.
wanna tell
I mean,
that.
I can't remember it, but basically is that all the old, well, everybody in Connecticut limps, right? That's basically the joke,
Everybody.
right?
Oh wait, you told me the story about
I
it.
went to Connecticut one time.
Oh yeah,
Walked around town, and I was just like, yo,
that was.
people are weird out here.
So now we're sitting in a diner.
Yo, it was weird.
Oh,
First of all, we can
I
tell
heard
you-
this story. I heard this story. He told me the story.
So dude is tripping, right? But everyone that walks in, it's like a 3 to 5 ratio of motherfuckers limping. And mind you,
It
Bala
is.
told us a joke like a few, like 30
On the
minutes
drive
earlier.
there.
On the drive there, I'm like, wow, this dude is genius. Comedic genius untapped. A white
He
Dave
is,
Chappelle.
Let's not drag it. Let's not drag it.
Let's not drag it.
That Joe Rogan?
But you remember?
That is.
So we're in a diner, right?
Shit was weird.
This is a story, and honestly, yo, I was honestly scared, bro, because I don't know if it's watching movies or being from Trinidad, and So let me explain the story. So it's a guy sitting across from us, and he's quiet at first. I don't think we even realized he was there.
I had no idea.
Right? Seems like a regular guy. Like Paul could have been the guy sitting over there, and then all of a sudden, the waitress walks up to him and asks him, "What do you want?" And he looks at her and he says, "You."
Oh my God.
And then everyone.
But this is after minutes of him begging the other waitress to get this younger waitress over there.
To come over. Right.
He's like, I want her.
I want her.
That's so scary.
Yo, it was weird.
Especially
Brought
for the waitress.
down.
For the waitress.
Yeah. Oh my. I don't even understand why they called her over there.
When he told me that story, I was like,
was
yo,
weird in
oh
there,
my
man.
God.
There was really. Okay, so this is the thing. We're not from there, right? And everyone else in the diner was super calm with it. So we're guessing this happens all the time.
Nah, I don't think so.
If not, this is weird that you have a guy. I'm not going to say sexually harassing because the guy was clearly mentally not there.
He was mentally not there and looked like he was on something too.
He looked like he's been on something for years and his brain is just scrambled eggs.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Definitely doesn't happen just because it's in Connecticut.
You ever seen that political commercial when they're like, "This is your brain on drugs," and they drop the egg into a frying pan?
That's how I'm trying to be, though.
That's what they mean when you say you're on fried.
Oh, that boy Mally!
Y'all niggas don't listen.
Come on, son. Don't let that go over your head, man.
Don't go to geometry class. I can't think straight.
I'm out of here.
Stupid.
Geometry, straight lines.
Ooh.
Come on.
But
Mally
radius.
But yeah, so
gems.
I was genuinely, first of all, I know it's a lot of us here right now. Let's not talk over each other. It doesn't sound good on audio. I know we're having a good time, but we say hi.
Of course.
Right?
We got to get back to the story about before Bala was saying how he hates.
Oh, let's
how he was hating on me because I'm funnier than him. Because I'm funnier than him.
We're jumping. We
all over the place right now.
This is your idea.
But so the guy is, I want her. And then it goes on for like another 20 minutes where this guy is just hell bent on getting to see this waitress who's not giving him the time of day. Like now it's a weird situation. Like it's weird for everyone involved. A guy comes in, tries to get him out, who I thought was a security guard at first. Turns out it was his friend. Right?
He had a badge on.
The guy leaves him. And then the guy, the mentally ill guy, comes back asking for the girl, offers him her watch.
Yo.
Great gesture, by the way. Great gesture, by the way.
When he pulled up, he reached in his pocket for it. I was like, I was getting ready to
the funny part about that is, from the first time he said, "I want you," and he's acting weird, I'm on the edge of my seat. Why would you bring the waitress?
Why would you let him like pick who he wanted to serve him?
Right. He wasn't trying to get served. He was just trying to hit on her.
Yeah, true. But
why? I don't know.
Wasn't she asking him? Because I know the story already. Bala told it to me. But shouldn't she ask, like, what do you want? Like, what are you trying to order?
Yeah, and then he says, I want you.
Yeah, so then it's just like, no, like, you have to order food or you have to get out.
He was standing there, and
he's
like...
So he wasn't even sitting. He wasn't seated. He wasn't seated?
What? He's not able to have a conversation to comprehend anything. Like his brain is literally scrambled eggs. Like like 2 words. He might be able to muster up 2 words and that's it.
See, so I thought for some.
Am I? I
thought he was seated.
He was seated
at first.
Okay.
And then eventionally his big friend came in
and talked him out for 10 minutes. It seemed like just begging him to get out, but he's trying to be, because it's a small, quiet diner. He's not trying to get out.
Yeah. But everyone can. It's still loud in the diner. everyone's listening.
Not this diner.
No,
especially when we walked in, everybody's grilling.
Bro, these 2 older dudes
People
walked
look
out.
like.
So what type of diner was that? There was a lot of stuff going on, man, at that diner.
It's obviously racist spot.
Why you say that?
In a weird spot.
When
we went in there, the 2 older gentlemen like, I'm leaving.
Yeah,
and then one of the older guys, he said he was just chilling, and then the other dude was like, "Yo, we're out of here."
That's so.
Yeah, it was weird vibes.
Weird.
That's the thing. Weird vibes. Weird. Just don't feel right.
That's just the bar for can I cut?
Creatures up
What's
there.
that?
Yeah.
The Spanish Instagram dude. got whatever Garcia, where he's like first time in Connecticut, and then he spelled it like with an R on his story, and it's bad funny because that's how you pronounce like Connecticut, like Dominicans. So like, they're like, yo,
this is hilarious. So I want to give these dudes a shout out. What's the podcast name with the Dominican dude?
The Bodega Boys.
Nah.
The dudes that be here?
No, we be making fun of these dudes.
Oh, I don't know.
Yo, is that the people that be in here just making mad gun sounds and stuff?
Nah, they're in Florida. I don't know that.
Yeah, that's so funny. The invitation had me crying.
It's called I forgot the name of the podcast, but this dude cannot speak no English, but he has a podcast in English, and all of his words is pronounced like that.
Yo, what's that radio? You ever seen the video where the guy calls it to the radio that he's like, "Can you play the song Reebok or Nike?" And the DJ like is racking his brain. He's like, "Son Reebok or son Nike?" And then he plays like this one song. I know who said this, like, "It's a rhythm of the night." That song, the guy's like, "Oh yeah.
He was just agreeing it.
Yo, no, that was a song like the DJ. That DJ deserves an award. He called in and just said something crazy. Hit his ear for music was so good that he was able to like translate the song. He's like, "Son Reebok or son Nike?" The guy's like, "Reebok or Nike?" Then he's like, "Será esta?" Then it's like, "It's the rhythm of the night." And that song, and the guy's like, yeah, he was hype. And it's a dude that speaks no English whatsoever, but he's heard that song and was like, that's one of my favorites.
So Reebok, so nice.
Yeah, and the guy's like, brother, no sé.
But back to the story of how you guys met, of Bala hating on you.
Yeah, so I was
so
just
funny.
like,
That's how
that was junior high stuff. But then
he's the reason why I played football though. Why I started playing football. Like he was so like, I got hurt playing soccer, and then he was like, "Yo, you need to try out." Because eventually we met in school. How do we meet though?
we were in gym together.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Y'all play Xbox together, right?
Apparently you said
knew-
like I was in parties and I didn't know who he was. I don't know.
But then one time Paul walks by.
His gamer tag was funny money. It was Big Elwood, and I'm like, who? Big Elwood?
I loved Longwood.
Hey yo,
Big Wood.
Now both of you working there.
That's a fact. We love.
And I want nothing to do with it.
yeah.
Hey, come on. But
Great. The Alma.
we would play, and then one time we were in the hallway, and he's like walking. He's like, "Yo, you're Big Elwood?" And I was like, yeah. Kid Fresh?
That's mad funny. Yo, that's
23?
That's a funny email. That's a funny email. Like when people ask for like an email like that I don't care about, it's like my old screen names. Like, what are some of your old screen names that you had that are probably mad funny? Like my first one was Lil T Mac. Wow. And then my cousin used to make funny like, "Yo, you little T crack like a butt crack." Shut the fuck up. I'm like, damn. I'm like 11 years old. Like I thought the screen name was fire. Which is my favorite player at the time.
Mine was like Motor Buddha or something like that.
What was?
Mine was Techie Beef.
Oh my god!
And that was a computer generated name. Techie Beef.
The algorithm been sus.
Hell yeah.
I feel like I played with you on Techie Beef before.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, come on.
Yo, I was listening to a podcast on the way here. It was like talking about how the algorithm like that they're making and stuff is like racist and stuff like that because what the data is based off of is like stuff in the past.
For real?
Yeah, it was really interesting to listen to.
But what do you mean it's racist? Like the
So
algorithm?
they had one. I can't think of the one right now, but the one that's coming to right now is about the women, and it was like a resume generator, and they had anything that could qualify a woman or like recognize as a woman, they would rank lower on the algorithm, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. So that's why I made that joke, like the algorithm been sus because it like as a joke, but it was techie beef.
Techie Beef is valid. I had a technical beef. I was very technical with the beef.
We have this sucking joke on what was it? IMVU? What's that?
Do y'all remember IMVU?
No,
IMVU?
what is that?
It was like a virtual game where you would be like in a room, right? Like for example, you could enter a room like this, and it would be other people, but they would have avatars, right?
But it's real humans.
But it's-
you know how like Club Penguin has penguins?
Yeah.
This is like real. You create your own
In
human.
humans, you get them fly as fuck. On some weird shit. I was always a fat kid. My avatar had abs and shit. But like, I really felt sexy online.
But what's the
Classic,
difference? But what's the difference between that and today with social media?
There's none.
Nothing.
Interesting.
Even though the graphics were so terrible, where it looked like someone did it with a 4-year-old with a crayon, they just like put it up to like a screen.
Right.
Still made you feel good.
No, funny. IMVU. If y'all don't know what IMVU is, go Google it. It was the first.
I don't
2K.
remember that though.
It's the first 2K where you could get your tats, get your fits, shoes, whatever the case may be. It was cool.
Creating another identity for yourself, no matter where it is like really cool for the human like mind if you think about it.
Wait, what'd you say?
Like creating another identity for yourself is so like normal to us that we do it in video games and you do it like in real life.
It's so hard to make your own identity in real life.
Well,
it's so easy in the video
GTA, you're able to change your clothes and customize yourself.
Yeah.
2K, all the games that you play, you can put yourself in the game. And then not like when you talk about Neuralink, like you're literally putting yourself in the game. When you like get the chip in there, so it's just technology advancing. But
I was reading something, right? I forgot what it was exactly, but let's say, for example, what Ninja, I would say he lives most of his life online. You know what I mean? Like if you was to meet Ninja and didn't talk about video games, you'd probably be like, "Yo, this guy is weird," or he's, you know what I mean?
His hair's dyed. He's got like blue hair. He looks like some skinny dude. What is he? He's like 6'1". He's probably pretty tall because I think I seen him in a picture next to Neymar.
He's never left his house.
No, he was like at All-Star Weekend. I'm pretty sure.
So he's a perfect example. With him, is his online life his real life?
He's just really good at video games and he streams himself on Twitch and he just like gives reactions that I guess people really like. He's really good, and then they're like, I relate to the way he's reacting to it. He's a Twitch streamer, so that's all he does. He just films himself.
So what I'm saying though, for someone like him, is it cool for him to be like, yo, for example, like let's say, and we could use this again to the Bobby Shmurda discussion. Like I think Bobby Shmurda and Roddy Rebel, they're cool people in real life. Yeah. And that's why you see the love, right? And that's a part of the rap game and just being a celebrity that's left out, right? You have a character that you portray, right? But then all these people meet you in real life, and that's why a lot of rappers are taken back when they're like, yo, I met homeboy and he wasn't who I thought he was, right? So for Ninja, right, we don't get into that discussion, but for Ninja, he's this cool guy that everyone loves. Is it wrong for him to interpret that as his real life, as what he wants to be, an online character? That this is me. I'm an online character instead of, I'm more proud of that part of myself than who I am if you were to meet me in
he's
a
not
bar.
though.
That's what he gets paid for.
But he's not though. Like, anyone, the same way anyone can start a podcast and get money off of it and have people relate to who they are because of what they're good at. True. It's the same thing with Ninja because all he does is stream himself and he's really good at video games. Like how many people do you know that play video games are nasty? But he's able to put the camera on him and he has
be entertaining.
Yeah, he has millions of viewers. And all he's doing is just reacting to it and cursing, but he's nasty. People watch him to get better and everything.
Great point, bro. Like the fact, first of all, we do podcasts. You've done
you know,
carrying a story, carrying a conversation is very difficult, right? To play your game at the top level and do that can be easy.
Facts. For hours.
A lot of people, when they play video games, they're locked in. Like, you know what I mean? This dude is the best Fortnite player or whatever the game may be. And he's doing a podcast at the same time, essentially.
He's the first video game superstar.
Yeah, because like if you watch Twitch streamers, they like talk. They talk to the fans. Twitch streamers, they talk to their fans in the chat. They say, put a 2 in the chat. If you want to get 2 kills in a row, do something crazy.
Facts.
You can really get interactive if you're nasty.
They can read the comments.
Yeah. And
so also, imagine if you did a podcast and you could read the comments. I've listened to podcasts that are like that, where they have like a troll room.
We could do a live stream. I personally wouldn't want to.
There's a lot of different things you can do in with podcasts.
I think it ruins the experience because I think the dope part about our podcast, well, most people's podcasts, is that you're just talking with your friends. If you have that extra thing there, now you're talking to people. You know what I mean? And that's why, like, I heard Rogan say that's why he never has an audience. Because Rogan could perform in front of an audience, but now he's performing instead of having a conversation.
What is like do you know how many people listen to your podcast or watch it? Like the different numbers? So your YouTube views compared to like your podcast listens.
But yo, when y'all tune into the Nick and Mal show, right? Make sure y'all comment, like, subscribe, right? That's number one. And also give us 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
That helps out.
Yeah, we need those. We need those numbers.
What's the numbers, though?
I'm doing that right now.
Because I'm a big fan and I love to listen to your podcast.
You don't like watching it?
I do, but because I'm on the go all the time and I love listening to podcasts, I just added you into my library and I'm just like on my breaks.
I didn't know you could
going wherever.
Here.
Yeah, you could rate on Spotify.
For me to sit down and like watch a YouTube video, I'd rather listen to it if there's really no need to watch it. But this one I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna sit down and watch myself.
I don't watch podcasts either because that's time consuming. The dope part about podcasts is kind of like in my car, on the move, doing anything, you could listen to it.
But everyone has a different flavor.
That's a fact.
All right, so here's the numbers we get. Around 20, 25 audio.
Okay.
Views, it depends on what's going on. If it's a Nick and Mal show, like I said, make sure y'all comment, like, subscribe on everything.
That's so fire.
You know, around,
let's
say 100.
Yeah.
And then if it's an interview, it could go from 300 plus.
That's so
YouTube
dope.
views?
You know, yeah, YouTube.
What about the
YouTube
audio
chat.
you said?
20.
20?
So
Yeah,
see,
around
so
20,
YouTube,
25.
so the video content for you is very, and your video content is lit.
Yeah, because YouTube does a good job just adding you pushing it. So that's another thing. That's why we definitely want you guys to rate our Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Reason being is because you could get Apple Podcasts does the same thing too. Mm-hmm. You know, and Spotify.
So cool.
Yeah, I love the podcast and stuff. Like all my friends are having like the different ways you can put it out there. It's so interesting because if you think about podcasting, like in the conversations that are being had, it's like the last of free speech. We're sitting down and we're putting our thoughts and like what we could research into a digital format. And if the way censorship is going,
how long is this going to be around for?
Yeah, how long is this going to be around for?
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm about to get real political.
No, that's interesting. That's not even political. That's a fact.
But they'll make it political at some point.
Absolutely. My thing is like, bow, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nick and Mal Show. We had to take a quick break. Let's get into what Bala got because I actually like this idea. Introduce the segment to the people.
All right.
By the way, we got to do this every single time you come on the show now.
Yeah.
Peek and Pits of the Week. We don't want to steal it and do it without you because you might get us with some copyright infringement.
Nah, Meg Williams would get copyright infringement.
Shout out.
She
put me
created
on
this.
Good friend.
I don't know if she created it, but she put me on. So go around, ask you your Peek and Pits of the week. You can do it for the day too if you want, but
to do it amongst your group of friends is something that is probably very advantageous to like the social surrounding that you're doing because you're being honest with yourself. Like, what did you think was bad about your week, and then something that was good. So you're being realistic, and then you're being grateful.
Mm-hmm. And there's plenty of space to open up for, like, plenty of things to open discussion, you know, and get into more that's going on in other lives.
And this is off the top of the head. So who wants to go first?
You got it.
I go first. So should I start with Peek or Pit? Should I give you guys the good or the bad?
Whatever you want.
Okay, I'll go with the peak of my week first. So the peak of my week, right? So my thing, I feel like I'm not a very responsible person. Like I forget a lot of things, and you know what I mean? Sometimes I forget it for the fact that it slips my head, or sometimes I just don't give a fuck about doing certain things that I know I have to do.
Yeah, you could just forget about stuff.
But there have been times in my life where I've been very responsible and I've been on top of it. But for me, it's more like a mode. Mm-hmm. So no funny shit. The highest I felt all week, I went to Staples. Shout out to Aunt. Aunt has like a whiteboard, and it was. I'm like, that's what I need. I need a whiteboard in my house. Like, I need a whiteboard in my room. Yeah. So I went to Staples. I copped a whiteboard. I copped this book right here. And I felt. Come on, show the book right here.
It's a plan.
And I'll show y'all what it's like too. So you could
It's nice, man.
It's nice. Wow. You it's honestly it's dope because you could really structure it to be whatever you want it to be. Mm-hmm. Like you could take notes on here if you want to, if you have an idea to jot down.
Like a notebook.
Like a notebook.
Okay. What's that on the top? The writing? Are those the days?
Yeah. So you create the calendar.
Oh, wow.
It's so efficient, right? Wow. Instead of putting a calendar, you create your calendar. So you circle February 29th, and you know what date it is.
Wow.
Right?
Instead of just writing the date.
Wow. Let me see how
small remembers the date.
That's because my vision bad. So he has all the numbers.
All the numbers.
Wow.
All the months.
So you could just be
glasses.
like, oh, it's not January. Something that's gonna happen in August. Open it up.
Boom. And put that in. So
need that. What's that called? What's like the actual? It can't be. Is that a planner?
Notebook.
A planner, and someone just made that concept for someone that's a neurotic.
It's called a standard issue notebook. Wow. It's called a handy bullet page.
See, because it is handy.
Handy dandy notebook. Shout out to Blue's Clues.
So basically, this along with my whiteboard, being able to, because y'all know I love writing stuff down. Yep. I love writing.
So you know what you need to invest in then? The whiteboard calendar, because that's what I have in my room.
We're filling up notebooks. That's all we do out here.
We fill out notebooks, bro.
We fill out notebooks.
Wow.
Like, and that's just the start of the game.
Mally got a book. I don't got a book. I feel unprepared.
Come on, bro. if that's up. If it's a lot of greats out here, and this is going off topic real quick, it's a lot of greats out here that get epiphanies, and if they had let it slide, they wouldn't have been greats. That's why it's good to write down your ideas, because we are all genius people. Yeah,
I wrote down my ideas last night. I couldn't sleep. I was really excited to be on the show.
Come on, you look excited.
I told you, man. This is
that boy Paul is on my Adderall right now.
Yo, he's starstruck. He said, "You look excited." Facts. I'm so happy.
How much caffeine you put in your coffee?
I have it black, straight black, straight black.
Funny. Come on,
that's so funny.
But basically, that was a tired over there. But basically, that was a high point of my week. You know what I mean? Copping that whiteboard, copping this book, and I've literally been on top of my shit since. You feel me? So I would say that's one thing, and you could use this as a teachable moment. People, whether you are responsible or not, I mean, I guess everyone is somewhere on the spectrum, but having something to keep you, what was the word, to keep you
organized?
Organized is very beneficial.
The importance of writing down your thoughts is so.
Writing down your task also.
Everything.
Another epiphany that I had.
So important.
And this is why I went and copped this book. I'm like, we should all live our lives task-based. We should all judge ourselves based on how many tasks we complete within a day. I actually seen that from Nate. Nate dropped a video, and he was like, yo, don't judge yourself based on how long you work, because we can bullshit, especially with social media. You could get lost doing a task. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And an hour you on social media doing bullshit for 40 minutes of it. How many tasks are you completing? And that's changed my motor. Because now it's like, okay, you get a task done. Okay, let's fit another one in. What else can you get done around the house? What else can you get done for the podcast? So
they've done studies on the importance of what it is to write something down and what it does to your brain and motivating you to do it as well.
Right.
Yeah. It's so what you're saying hits right on that point. Because that's what when you say you forget, when you write things down, they just say it just makes you remember it so much better. So that's why you enjoy it so much, and now you said it changed your motor because you're understanding what it does to you, and you're like, I love it. I love it.
And 48
and
laws,
just buying that is perfect for you.
And 48 Laws of Power, I forgot which law it was. It says stand on the shoulders of giants. Do what people in the past did. Every great motherfucker wrote, bro. That's why they're able to go and find journals. Right, journals of a lot of greats writing, because maybe it's something, bro. It's something when you write, you force yourself to think and create more great thoughts.
Yeah, it's like an exercise. It's just an exercise. Like a lot of these things I've written, but I'm not gonna pursue a lot of these things because I'm like, what the hell is this? But it's just the act of sitting there thinking, writing 2 pages in 10 minutes or whatever. You're just sitting there thinking. At the same time as writing, so you could come up with words off the cuff easier.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you speak to people, you've practiced speaking to people.
You're valid.
By writing.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I've always realized this: comedians are the best podcasters. A lot of comedians, 100%. That's why Steve Harvey and all of them, they host all these shows. They are the best at talking.
But that's why we're all the best at talking, because we're all funny. We're all comedians.
Bro, thank you. I appreciate that.
That's why we're so good. That's why I was dead ass crying before the podcast. Everyone's gonna be on YouTube like, yo, they really weak over there.
We appreciate
they really weak over there.
But no funny shit though. I think why comedians do such a good job at podcasting is because they've been writing their whole lives, right, Bala? That's what they do. Guala was hating, but I sent a video on Instagram of this real fat dude, and he was saying like, yo, I made it to the top of LA comedy because all I do is write every day. And Guala obviously laughed at the fact that he was fat. Because this nigga doesn't like fat people.
But here's the thing though. So he's talking about practicing every day for comedy, which is good, right? He's the top dog on it, but you couldn't do that to be healthy.
But you couldn't do that for comedy?
Come on.
But you couldn't do that to write down your thoughts and not keep them in your head. Like,
I'm not into.
Oh, so he's probably not into fitness.
Nah, but that should look.
But
nasty.
that's mental fitness for him. Writing it down.
That's definitely mental fitness.
That's mental fitness for him.
But that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
No, it's not fine.
It's mental fitness.
Because he's fat.
And Mal, like a lot of comedians are sad people that don't care about themselves. That's why they're out here making jokes about themselves.
Nick Farley,
and just,
right?
Like,
Nick Farley
making fools of themselves in front of people because they just like.
That's a deep way to look at it.
That's really what it is. Like I noticed like my favorite jokes are like of mine are from times when I was like the most sad because I'm just like looking for things to laugh at.
But that's what you gotta do
through my perspective. You know, I'm like looking at somebody hurt.
I'm
making an example, and I'll be like, that's funny because what if it happened? He slipped on a banana. That's an example. That's not what it is. But
look at the funniest. Who's the funniest comedian of all time?
Dave Chappelle for me.
Dave Chappelle, right? Let's another Kevin Hart, right? I know. Anyone that's short, and dates a girl who's taller than him.
Stocky short man loves Kevin Hart.
That's crazy. He's like, but real quick, I just want to say to your point, Bala, though, about you writing the jokes about when you were like the funniest when you were saddest at the time. There's a really good quote where it's life is a tragedy if you feel, and comedy for those who smile. So if you look at life and you're always feeling in a way, then you would think it's a tragedy. But if you look at it with a smile on your face with a positive outlook, it's funny to you, life. But you're still taking your own reality into it, you know? And I was like, wow, that's a really good quote.
But also the sad times, right? You probably don't find it funny in it then, but when you get over it, you know what I mean? You're probably able to see the funniest.
Yeah,
I'd say the funniest comedians. Let's say Richard probably one of the funniest comedians. You know what his jokes about him almost dying overdosing on crack,
and how did
him
he die?
Sucking a dick mistakenly. I don't know how you do that.
But like R.I.P. Richard Pryor. But how did he die? He died off of overdosing.
Did he?
Yeah, pretty much, right? Like he had a medical condition from the amount of drugs he was doing, I'm pretty sure. So, and we were all laughing at it, but that's, I don't know. Is that life?
That just
no, I didn't laugh at his death, at him being a comedian.
He's a comedian.
I laughed at him dying. Nah, he was funny, and his jokes, like you said, were about him doing drugs and like all the funny shit he did to get drugs. And he died from drugs.
I also think to want to be somebody that wants to stand in front of hundreds of people to try to make them laugh, you're just already a different type of person, you know.
But like, that can mean many different things.
But
what'd you say?
That can mean many different things.
Definitely.
Yeah. Some people are attention whores, and that's a good way to get attention.
Definitely. But you have to be good and do the craft. You know, you can't just be like, I'm gonna talk in front of hundreds of people. If you want to do it, you'll do it. That's just already a different type of person.
Yeah, Bella, what's up, bro? When we about to get on the stand up?
I don't know. Let's do something because
I'm trying to get on there too.
I've been writing some jokes.
I need to do that.
Get on stage.
Yeah, I don't think there's no Colombian comedians.
Colombian.
They got this. They got Latinx is a word.
Get okay. But hold on.
We were doing the Peek Pit.
So once again, I'm gonna just round it off. This is what I was saying. I think comedians are the best podcasters because they have the most thoughts pent up because they write the most because that's their job to write. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So you got a notebook.
Yo, bro, I be thinking of one thing and I will write 2 pages and never get to the thought that I started to write about.
Oh. Wait, what are you writing about then?
Other thoughts that just come to your mind because you're actively using that muscle. It's a muscle.
True.
I had a joke about this. Okay, let me see how I set it up. 3 pages later, what the fuck was the joke? But I just got 10 more jokes in this motherfucker. You know what I mean? So that's why writing is important.
It is.
So that's my peak. Copping this book, copping that board, it really set me on a different path. My valley... I was beating my meat for like 40 minutes.
That's your valley?
That's my pit.
That's your pit.
40 minutes though.
Nah, I'm capping. What's my pit, man? Honestly, I really don't know. I had a pretty good week this week.
Let's go.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. I can do the Eli under table clap.
I'm really trying to come up with something because I'm not trying to cap. What was a low point this week for me? Oh, when Malcolm yelled at me for not having the thumbnails on time.
Oh,
that was my pick.
He yelled at you?
Yeah, he yelled at me.
Me and they go back and forth. Y'all don't know.
Yeah.
We talked about it a few times. We try not to, but sometimes it happens. Let me write something down. But yo, tell them about this, bro. You know what this is for?
Oh, whoa! I wonder what that
Come
was.
on, tell them about the notebook, man. Go ahead, show them.
You can slide the pen in it right here. They call this the WAP holder.
Oh my god, that's the Ed Hardy studded belt.
Hey, that's fire.
So, ladies and gentlemen, get this. Get yourself a whiteboard. Write some goals down and achieve it. By the way, my mom, who I look as a very successful woman, especially where she came from. She can literally, everything she's doing right now, she has a book about writing it.
Wow.
I swear to God, from when she was 19 with a 1-year-old kid, she has everything planned out. So write shit down, man. You could also come up with ideas and you can manifest shit into your life.
100%.
Mm-hmm. Pleasure.
You gotta get
Malcolm,
after it,
your
though.
turn now.
Love that.
What's it called? Pit and what?
Peek and Pit.
Peek and Pit. I'm talking about the pit first. It ain't nothing too
And
serious.
you can do it in whatever order you want. You can do it in whatever order you want.
I can't be wild now because we might get canceled with my mindset toward this pit. I'm gonna keep it simple. So I'm at work, right? And I'm not at the work. I think I'm doing, right? It's something else. I ain't gonna say it though.
Facts.
But bro, so this one lady I'm working with, she not even a lady. She a young lady. She a young lady, right? She younger than me. So we working, we cleaning, right? We doing our job, we're cleaning. I'm cleaning, she's cleaning. It's almost at the end of the shift. Like an hour and a half to the end of the shift. I was told by the manager, this is what you need to do because corporate's coming in tomorrow, right? And this is what she's gonna do.
Niggas always trying to buckle up when corporates come in.
Like, always.
It's wild.
Like, just do your job all the time.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It's so annoying.
So I'm doing what the manager had told me to do, right? Then she comes up to me and goes, can you clean the windows? I go, yeah, I'll clean the windows. You know, it's not a problem. You need help, I'll help you. You understand? Understandable.
I got a college degree, but I'll clean a window.
Yeah, exactly. You know
They'll try to play.
That's
backhanded comments over there.
That's all of us.
That's a fact, though. But I know Nick's funny, though.
Money's going to good reasons, too, though.
Yep.
That's a fact, though. But, so she tells me, asks me if I could clean the window. I go, yeah, I could clean the window. So we getting close, like 30 minutes out. And she's acting very weird. You know, she's not looking at me, communicating with me. And then, so at the end of the night, we're closing. I tell all the ladies, I go, have a good night. Everyone says something but her. My dumb ass left my book bag back in the spot. So they had to put the code and get the key so I could go get my backpack. But someone had moved it and put it in the room. So that's why I couldn't grab my backpack as soon as when we all left.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
That's some Nick shit.
That's a fact. But she moved my backpack. She moved it.
Oh, she moved
without
it.
telling me.
I thought you
so
just
if I would have
forgot
seen
it.
it right, well, yeah. When I got outside, I'm like, oh, my backpack. But if it was right there, I would not have forgotten it. So she gets the key. She unlocks it. I go grab my backpack, and I'm coming out. And I said, all right, have a good night. She doesn't say anything. I'm like, yo, what's good with you?
You said that?
No. But I'll call some people. I'll call Serena. I'm like, yo, this girl is weird. Like, why is she acting like this? She acting very weird. So the next day, the manager goes, yeah, just make sure you help her out when you guys are closing. I go, yeah, she was acting very tight. She was like, yeah, it happened. I'm like, yo, you telling me to do something. She wanted me to do something. I'm trying to do everything. This girl was mad because I didn't help her cleaning, but I was cleaning. So does that make any sense?
Clean the windows.
What?
Yeah, that girl fake.
That's very weird. And
then try to kiss up on, not to cut you off, but then try to kiss up the next day was being hella nice. Like, yo, you that's just not there. Like, you, see, I'm not trying to get canceled. I ain't gonna say anything.
She's snitching on you.
She's snitching, but y'all know who be snitching.
Yeah.
Who be snitching?
I'm not gonna say it.
Women be snitching?
Yeah.
Women be snitching, bro. Women love to talk. That's their job.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, we do too, though, because we be chatting on the podcast.
That's a
By
fact.
the way, I want y'all to remind me, I have a very sexist.
Write it down.
No, it's written down right here, but I'll tell y'all later. But why do you feel like that was a pit? Did it make you feel bad because of the way she was acting?
Because it did bother me, so
You
I had to let it
questioning
out.
yourself.
No, I didn't question myself. It's just more like, yo, you really just. Like, you just doing just dumb shit that make you a broke person. That's what really bothered me.
The
mentality,
you don't do that.
Mentality. Yeah, you don't do that.
You
went in the LA Fitness group chat and go, yo, this kid's mad annoying. He doesn't help me clean.
Oh, she said something like that?
I could tell. You know what I'm saying? She's the type of person to do that.
White lady?
No.
Black lady?
No.
Oh. Shout out.
But yeah, that was the pit. And then what's the other thing?
Peak.
I'm sorry, man. This is new. So
hey, man.
Peak and pit. Peak.
Every time I hung out with Serena.
No, that's a fact. But also, a Peak would be coming to the show, man. You get Monday through Friday out the way you here. You know, new episodes dropping, especially when you do a clip and all that. So Peak is definitely the Nick and Mal show for me every week.
Honestly.
Yo, I think what Malcolm just said is very interesting. Like, when you're doing something, bro, a lot of your week is filled with happy shit.
Yeah.
So it's hard to fit. Like, this week specifically, because I got these stuff. Any other week, I'd been like, yo, I had so many peaks. You feel me? Like, I feel like as long as you're having a lot of peaks in your life, you know you're doing good. You know what I mean? Whatever it is you're doing, even if you're a garbage man, like if you're doing it right, you have a lot of peaks in your life. This should be a game that people just do with themselves. You just sit down with yourself and like, yo, what were my peaks or my valleys?
Shit down.
But that's just like the good and the bad. It's just the way the graphs move, just up, down, and then it goes up, and you know what's gonna.
How do you find
that's just
a way
life?
for
the
this?
peak and pit. It's just like you're going through a little valley.
What Akil say? What's that called?
The Don Kruger effect.
Yeah,
the most genius chart ever created.
Shout out Ginzu.
Sustainability.
Yeah,
yes.
Shout out
Ginzu. You want to get
Ginzu.
to sustainability, but slight uptrod.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you uptrod slightly, there's less of a chance for a deep downtrod.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So it's
or like even when you do, because you gotten up to that point, you're always gonna get back to that point, get better. Like that's why sometimes people just fall off, and you're like, all right, you notice your own trend in yourself, and you're like, let me pick it up again.
No funny shit, and that's why the Don Kruger was such an epiphany to me. With the podcast, the first week we came, I was like, yo, this is easy. And me and Malcolm potted for like 2 hours. It was easy. The second week, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. So it's like we hit that peak, that valley, but then we came back the other week. It's like the valley is like what shoots you up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like a roller coaster. You go down man fast, and you're just like, but now you got to take it up.
Yeah. And it's like, the higher you get, I feel like the lower you fall, because then you just start questioning. Like, you overthink things is how I chalk it up to be. Because the more I know about the podcast, the more it bothers me that I don't know something. You know what I mean?
Yo, that's so true that you said that. I don't mean to cut you off, but that's so true, because that's also like how I feel with social media and why I had to get off of it. Because I would see stuff and I would be like, oh, I see stocks, I see fitness, like I see all this different stuff that I wish I knew everything about. But that's not how life is.
So I'm gonna tell you something too. That's something that I struggle with on the daily. Knowledge? Oh my God. But
there's too much out there.
Yeah.
And what's real, what's not.
Yeah.
You know, like what's from a factual source.
But also, Malcolm always say this, like, we're young. We're not going to know everything.
Yeah.
But you have to be doing the work to make sure that you are gaining that knowledge.
We need to get back to Peak and Pits, because I have something really good to say. Because I really love what you said. I'm going to go. So the peak of my week, like, it was honestly a good week. And like you said, I was really looking forward to cover a Nick and Bal show, to be honest. Like, I was hyped. So...
Gang.
I had a lot of stuff to do, like an itinerary that I had. Shout out.
Drop the merch. Dropping soon, baby.
And I'm taking a class right now, and it's like the history of science and technology. So from Newton to present. So when you said like with knowledge, how you struggle with like it's too much. Like my assignment was on Galileo. No, it was on Newton. And Newton really was like the person that discovered most of the laws of like our whole world that we live in. Math? Yeah, like he was the mathematician and everything.
I thought it was what's homeboy name? Pythagorean?
Yeah, so literally the title of the chapter was like, and then God said, let Newton be. And in the text that it brought up how he was born on December 25th. The day that, so like they're already putting religion into the head of people that are reading it. If you think about it,
I
want
to read this. What's the name of this?
I could send it to you.
It's so crazy that I didn't know that math. I thought math was just numbers. Math is our world, like everything, bro. This old guy. Shout out to Jimmy once again. He made me watch, and we should all watch it. No cap. I want to get really high and watch this shit. It's Donald Duck. And it's a Mickey Mouse episode, but it's with Donald Duck. And they break down math, like the history of math. Mm-hmm. And it's the most mind-blowing shit ever, bro.
The laws of our nature right there, the language, the numbers and everything.
Language.
Bro, to think, I was mind-blown by a Mickey Mouse episode, dog. It's like Donald Duck goes to math land, and it's so cool.
Walt Disney was on some different shit.
They froze his body, you believe it? They froze his body? It's frozen? Yeah, that's what they said.
Head.
It was his head.
Brain.
Why would...
Where is it? Okay, real quick. Do y'all know out in space there's tiny little chips of human DNA? So in
we're
case
stardust.
a human,
We're chips. We're like part of. There's stardust in our bodies.
No. The people did this. Like they took what's a dude who was really disabled.
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking. They took his DNA, put it in a computer chip, and put it's like 5-10 people DNA, and they put it out in space in case the human race is ever disintegrated, we all die, which is eventually going to happen. They could bring us back just with our DNA.
No way. The space is so niggas. Got niggas out there. Swear to God.
What if whoever finds it doesn't know how?
Who's gonna find that? Who's gonna find a chip in the atmosphere? It's not gonna survive. It's gonna burn.
No, he's saying sends it out to
space. It's in space.
But it eventually like.
But I think it's good. They probably made it. So
that's
it
capped though.
It's in a capsule. Go ahead.
I said that was the peak, and honestly, I can't really say that there was a pit.
That's good, man. Round of applause for that.
Good week. Good all around.
And by the
week.
way, if you're listening to this and you had a lot of pits this week, that's okay.
That's life. That's
We're
life.
not
Just
all happy all the time.
That's life.
I hope you have a pit, Bala. So our listeners.
Let me not act like I want listeners to think like I'm just as happy. I guess I can say the pit was. I feel like I didn't sleep enough.
That's a pit.
Yo, me too, bro.
But I was hyped to be here. I couldn't sleep last night. I was like, yo, I woke up. Like when you talk about writing stuff, like I wrote stuff down on a little post-it note.
Boy.
But it was like maybe like, I want to say like 1 a.m. I was like, if I can't sleep right now, I need to write stuff down. So the sticky note probably looks like a 3-year-old wrote in the dark, maybe. Because I was like kind of trying to in the dark and everything.
Nah,
but it was like all the topics that I wanted to get on when I was on here because I just so happy, excited to be here.
We got time.
It's not. It's not. We've gotten to like most of the stuff.
We're going to talk about your idiotic take about Kawhi.
Let him get the shirt. You already know.
We're going to talk about it now.
You already know. Which camera gonna get me?
Go ahead. Talk to us.
Yeah, so my pit work this week was a pit. Like the first couple of days, we were working up in Connecticut. And right back to Connecticut, like 20 minutes away, 8 minutes away from Curly's.
Damn, you checked it.
Nah, I was about to. Those wings were
it's a wing place? That place? Curly's? I was wondering who's Curly's.
Mr. Curly.
Mr. Curly.
Yeah, work was weird. First of all, being in Connecticut's bad vibes off rip.
You already got that story.
Facts. And then it was raining inside, which was blowing my mind all day. And we're just in mud, and it was cold the first day, and then it got nice out, but it was still raining inside. I didn't know what was going on. Real demoralizing. And but my peak. This leads into my peak.
Love that.
I copped the CMOS last week.
Love that.
I got off my inhaler, and it didn't. Yo.
Testimonial.
Shout out to
testimonial right here.
Hold on. You haven't. Wait 1 second. Yeah. So
shout out to your system, man.
You got the CMOS on Saturday, actually Sunday morning. Because so Sunday morning it's Saturday.
We were drinking it out the blender.
Okay, we did drink it out the blender. So you got it Saturday. It's now Saturday, so it's been 1 week, and you said you haven't used your inhaler again since.
Haven't used it. And I was freaking out because I have to get a doctor's appointment to get an inhaler. But I'm like, yo, my doctor's out in Coram. I'm like, I can't make it out there. I'm sorry. And I'm like, can you send this inhaler to this place? I'll buy it. They're like, you gotta come see us. I'm like, I have no time to go see you guys.
The natural medicine replaced the Western medicine for you.
If I don't.
How often did you use your inhaler before?
Almost every day.
Yeah.
And you've taken CMOS, and now you don't need it.
And also, if I ran without taking my inhaler, I would have trouble breathing after I ran and shit.
Shout out Clean Your System, man.
I ran. I was like sketchy about doing it, but I ran, and before I ate the CMOS, then ran, and I was able, no trouble, and I'm doing good.
Them boys over at Clean Your System about to make a killing. Bro, that's crazy that you saying this right now.
And if it's a placebo, hey, get yourself a placebo that works.
Psychology says the placebo effect is great. And I mean, it tastes like nothing. So imagine if it's doing nothing for your body.
Is the placebo effect real?
Yeah. Definitely. They've done studies on it.
So how do they test vaccines? They give people placebos and then they test them because they still get the virus, right?
I don't know what you just said.
So in the vaccine, they have 4 of us. They want to test the vaccine. they're only going to give 2 of us the actual vaccine. The other 2, they're going to give the placebo. Right?
Is that how that actually works?
Yeah, that's how they do. Yeah. That's how they do vaccine tests.
That counts as a variable.
If the placebo effect is real, wouldn't the number be distorted because you guys would also be affected, thinking that you have been injected with the real shit? Am I incorrect in what I'm saying?
It makes sense.
I don't know if I sound crazy though, but you're always testing the placebo or just the power of your mind when you're testing a medicine, because you're always using the placebo in the study. So not only are you testing if the vaccine works, you're testing if you're giving someone the vaccine and think that they're actually getting better. True. Just like everything else, you think that you're actually getting better, but there's really nothing in what it is, and it tastes like nothing. But
what if there's not even vaccines? What if it's all placebo?
That'd be crazy.
Let's talk about it.
That would be wacky because I believe the mind is we don't understand the power of the mind.
You know but you said like the vaccine if it's real, but just from us talking about it, if you clip this, it's going to be like go to the CDC for more information. Isn't that so wild?
CDC,
how that's
we do not want your information.
Yo, isn't that?
We don't fuck with Fauci over here at the Nick and Mel show.
Think of all of the things that are terrible that kill people that people talk about in everyday conversation and post on videos, and it doesn't put a link to say go to this website so you can see what the facts are on whatever is being mentioned.
What obviously apps, they know our conversation. Yeah, because they're texting on the app. If you get on Tinder and you're about to spank a little hussy, I think we should get a notification like HIV, syphilis. This is what can happen, young fella. You better strap up or you don't get clapped up. You feel me?
You don't want to strap up. You have to leave that alone. Leave that alone. Leave that alone.
But yo, back real quick. So it's called the Immortality Drive.
Ooh.
The Immortality Drive is a large memory device which was taken to the International Space Station on October 12, 2008. The Immortality Drive contains fully digitized DNA sequences of a select group of human beings, such as physicist Stephen Hawking, talk show host Stephen Colbert. So we got a smart person. Whoa. We got a funny person.
I guess. Yeah.
Joey Garcia, which is a Playboy model. I don't know if that's a guy or a girl. So they...
Wow.
Yeah,
that's an interesting group of people.
It's a baddie. Okay, so I see what they do.
A porn star, a really smart scientist, a mediocre late night host.
I mean,
getting the DNA set. Ooh, those are all hot takes right there.
Or they have a game designer also. Whoa. Obviously, you want to take care of the video games. Author Tracy Hickman and his wife Laura Hickman.
That's a very interesting group of people.
Did they have to pay for that?
A pro wrestler Matt Morgan and athlete Lance Armstrong.
Wow.
Did these people sign up to do this?
I think
or did they just do it?
They probably, since they're scientists, I'm guessing there's a scientific method to come up with who are probably the best DNA.
Is it a scientific method? It's a porn star, someone that gets paid to just
you want your
a sex worker.
In the future,
I'm sorry, I don't want to say porn star. I say sex worker.
In the future to be able to take. You feel me? And bear a lot of kids. Am I incorrect?
No, you facts with that.
If you had
and they got a wrestler because
that's crazy. That's crazy.
And they got a wrestler because you always need to defend yourself.
And Lance Armstrong.
Yeah. What if an alien pulls up on them and they're like, wrestler? Who's the wrestler?
Matt Morgan.
Matt Morgan. You know him?
No, I just remember that.
But he's just like he's tussling with the alien.
My name ain't Lance, but I'll Armstrong a nigga. Wait, my name ain't Lance, but I'll strong arm a nigga.
Damn.
That's a Kodak bar. Kodak said that.
Oh, that was a Wayne bar. I feel like that's a Wayne bar. Wayne definitely said that.
Kodak is doing good. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. He dropped a song with Lil Yachty and it was trash.
Damn.
This is the worst song I've heard from anybody. Far less from Kodak Black. It was funny. I was listening to it one time. I get sick when I see it on my YouTube page.
Wow.
Is it because you don't like Lil Yachty?
No, some of my favorite songs, weirdly, is with Lil Yachty. Like from the D to the A.
Oh yeah, D to the A.
He snapped on that motherfucker. And then Kodak Black and Jack Boy remixed that song. That's also a great song. The song with Drum, where they copied Kodak, that was also a great song.
What's your favorite Lil Yachty song though?
Probably D to the A. Because I was very big into
Kodak Minnesota is my shit. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. No,
he was snapping when he first came out. Yachty was that dude when he first came out.
That's a bop.
Oh yeah.
I get Kodak hissy
Minnesota. Kodak. Yo, that's so fire. I feel like that was the most simplest beat too. It was just like a little piano
That's when rap was in a bad state, though. Yeah. Me and Malcolm always talk about this,
but it's all expressive art.
No, don't express that shit, bro. Like, my thing is, like, you remember they were saying, like, rap was dead for a little bit? Mumble rappers. It was a little Yachty in them. Who's it?
Trinidad James.
Nah, he was early
Gold.
than that.
But that year, too, that's 2013. That was a bad year. We had
Tiger,
Coke Boys, then to the ASAP Mob, then to everyone else just being fucking awkward.
Shout out to ASAP Mob, ASAP Rocky.
Yeah,
following.
You love ASAP Rocky. That was the number one ASAP Rocky fan.
Wait, I'll talk about it.
Not introduced personally.
Oh, okay.
Introduced to his music and shit.
Wait, who's the most famous person you've met?
Personality.
Bismarcky.
For me, it's CeeLo Green.
You met CeeLo Green?
Yeah.
How was that?
I was in the city. It was my freshman year when I came to. We were gonna go. Where were we supposed to go? I think it was the draft, but then they ended up canceling it or something. And I met CeeLo Green just like at a jewelry store, and yeah, I took a picture with him. It's like me and like 4 of my teammates.
Was he fat?
Yeah.
How do you say fat in Spanish?
Gordo.
Was he gordo?
We gordo.
How do you say it in Trinidad?
Yeah, how do you say that?
Bitch.
Say it, bro.
Wow, slandering overweight.
2 times.
I met Dave Portnoy. That was cool.
Oh, really?
I met Al Pacino also.
Weren't you in?
Yeah.
Weren't you in?
Shout out Bala. Shout out Bala.
How was that? How did you
Me
get
and my
that gig,
pops were in The Irishman.
That's so cool, man.
My pops was doing some just his friends from growing up was like doing a project in Brooklyn, so he got put into this extra database, like extras that stand around the background of movies and stuff. And then he's just in the database, so he's just getting hit up about extras in the area. And they hit him up for The Irishman while they were filming that, and he's told me, because I'm Martin Scorsese fan, that guy.
That's love.
Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, I was like, I gotta be involved in this. So I hit him up. We did different days. He is smack dab in the middle of the camera. Robert De Niro patting him down and stuff.
Oh, Robert De Niro patting him down?
Yeah, he was right there. Like, there's one part, my dad just walks in, and it's just my dad is the only thing on the frame.
Really?
It's funny. It's like, what?
Yo, I gotta watch this with you and you gotta point it out to me.
I was gonna do it, but the movie's so long.
Yeah, that's long.
Because I want to watch I want to watch the whole movie, even as bad as because I saw it, and
that's history right
your
there.
Your pops is really in it, but yeah,
it's one of the better movies I've watched in a very long time.
Oh, cool.
Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, by the way, shout out to we watched a Fred Hampton movie. That was a great movie.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. So it was good.
Yeah, I didn't really know about his story before, but it was so like the dude was 21, bro. You feel me? Like it was so.
Who
great.
is that?
Do you think that it's age appropriate to show that to
Fred
a kid?
Hampton?
What's the rating on that?
I don't know. You should show that to a kid.
What's the rating on it?
What's
like show it to youngins?
Yeah. Would you?
How old are they?
Let's say like junior high age. Would you be able to show that movie? Because I haven't seen it, so I'm just saying.
I would watch it before.
Okay.
It's no sex. It's no naked people. It's just
it shows his true life. What happened to him, right? At the end when he gets shot up.
It's not anything gruesome. It's just very good dialogue, very good showing certain things. There's nothing bad about the movie.
But for anyone that doesn't know Fred Hampton, he was in a Black Panther. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
that's why I asked the question, because in terms of like, I'm an educator, so I would want to teach Black history.
You should show them that.
Yeah. So you would show them that movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So do they don't teach Black history to us enough in schools? You could say.
Not at all, bro. You learn, bro. I just went on a website. Hold on. I just went on a website, right? And I looked up Isaac Newton, and then it had Black history on the website. I don't even know if it was BBC News, but
I'll show you some BBC News.
I clicked Black history, and it was just a picture of Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
That's so
slavery, Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yeah, Fred Hampton's been around since that time.
Yeah,
and they didn't teach us anything about him, but his story is so unique.
Yeah, so I know I'm the hot take boy. Like whatever it is, but I'm very emotional. I react very strongly to things, and I'm always on the ledge. I always say, "Oh my God, that's the greatest thing I ever saw." But when I saw Fred Hampton, I was kind of like, he looked like the bridge between Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Because he was in the Black Panther, right? Mm-hmm. Known to be this ruthless and kind of like you know what I mean, brash group. Like they're with violence.
Mm-hmm.
But on some real shit, he preached so much love
and facts
and so much peace. And he talked about, listen, we could do it like Martin Luther King and spread peace and spread love.
Mm-hmm.
But also, we about to have that Malcolm X mindset, right?
Yeah.
He also talked about, what's dope about him and what I resonated, he wasn't a black power kind of thing.
Mm-mm.
It's for the people. It was never black this, black that. He literally has a speech when he just got out of prison. If you're black, yell at me. If you're white, yell at me. If you're Asian, if you're whatever it is, if you're brown, he's including everybody. It's not a struggle. He was like, yo, if the people don't have a say in how they live their lives, then we got to take it back. It had nothing to do with black. And I think with that type of rhetoric, he could have been powerful.
And that's why they did what they did to him.
That's how all the big black
because think about
they killed him.
Yeah, they shot. They shot up his house.
No, they didn't shoot up his house. That's what they did. So there was an informant.
They shot up. They went in there like as if they had a reason to even go in there. And then once they were in there, they just shot it up. They were like standing outside his door, and they're like, we know you have guns." And he was like asleep. He was like asleep. They caught him sleeping.
Yeah,
just shot up the crib.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They went in and they was shooting niggas while they was in the
While
crib.
they was walking in there,
like
just
not
spraying
even
women,
he
children.
was sleeping, bro.
So that's the most gruesome part of that whole movie. But it's like
They don't show it though.
They don't show it, but to a kid, you show them that, and they're like,
They did show that
in the movie.
They didn't show any like physically like getting shot up or nothing like that.
at the end. They shot the whole crib up.
Damn.
What I'm saying is they don't show you like for a
R.I.P.
kid to
Fred
watch
Hampton.
it. They didn't show. You know how some movies they show people getting shot up.
No, they showed them getting shot up.
They did.
Yes, they came in the crib and just lighting it up, and people the dude trying to get out the bed, and his legs got shot up at the end.
No, I don't got no key.
Damn,
Bala, what's up with you, bro? Yo, take the bottle and you got. All right, Bow, guys, we're back. Bala had a baby. Oh my god, fuck it though. That's just not gonna be.
Let me say it again. We're back.
Damn.
I feel like this whole episode should be audio only.
Why you say that?
Like with all the video malfunctions.
It's just been going crazy.
Yeah.
Bow, we are back. Bala had to he had to take a leak. You know what I mean?
You're in the main vein.
You got the baby bladder.
Straight in the main vein.
It's the sea moss, to be honest.
Hey,
Nah, you've been
me
doing
out.
that since you've been here. Every time you came to this podcast, you had to take a pee.
Really?
Yeah, in the middle of the podcast.
I might have a baby bladder.
Word. Or you drinking a lot of water. You're making sure you're hydrated.
that's
Could be.
that's what it is.
Aquaman over there.
Leak a
About
lot.
this whole pit thing and how it was easy for me to get down on myself this week. And I was like, yo, nothing's going right. And just, I don't even want to continue doing things. And then I just said, I got to do stuff. Like, time's going.
And you said you got the CMOS too, and that helped out too.
CMOS helped out a lot.
Because your body feels so much better.
Facts.
So then it just helps with your mind.
And apparently you could rub it on your face and it's good for your skin and stuff. I've only heard of one other thing that's really good to eat and rub on your face, and that's probably Hot Pocket. Those things. What? You never rub the Hot Pocket on your face?
Like a cooked Hot Pocket?
Could be cooked. It's going to burn a little bit more than the frozen one.
What does it do? What does a Hot Pocket do?
It gets in your pores, it just clogs them up with cheese and sauce.
That's good for you. But that's why the CMOS is so important.
And then in a couple days, you pop the pimple and it's just cheese and pizza.
Oh,
and
that's fire.
And then just a little quick snack. You're on the train or something.
It's free pizza. It's free pizza.
Free pizza, bro.
That's why I try to stay away from white people as much as possible. Yeah, shout out to all the great white sharks out there. We love y'all. Shout out to the
white
Foul
sharks.
Zone. Shout out to the Foul Zone family. Yo, by the way, I'm at work, bro. You seen I text Uncle Jack like somebody logged into our shit. I'm like, how does they even have our information?
What?
But remember when we sent Foul Zone the like the login information for him to watch it?
That's right.
I was literally like, yo, what the fuck, yo? But besides the point, what do y'all think about the King of Brooklyn coming home? Bobby Shmurda.
Facts. I mean,
He's
just a celebrity out of jail at this point.
But I was listening to
What do you
another
mean by that?
I mean, I want to see some music.
Okay.
You know, Kodak was dropping verses in prison,
and now he's out.
But
for rappers,
dropping shit. But also
getting free from jail is so good for your career and your street cred.
Facts.
That you can say in an argument. He went to jail and came back better.
Everybody knows.
And for the street cred, because a rapper has that.
Murdering them niggas though, not really.
No,
they street cred was already up there,
and even more because everybody was really like, we want him out. But now he got to drop a song. Whatever he drops is crazy. Just like 6ix9ine. You can say he's trash, but he went to jail, came back, and he snitched. So his whole story is just funny.
Also, no shade to Bobby Shmurda, but I don't think he needs to make music. You know, I'm not saying. I'm saying he could do whatever he wants. You know, because he gets out of prison. I'm sure.
But what he went to jail for, I guess, too.
Really,
I'm sure he wants to
grind it right now. I'm trying to enjoy my time out at the
moment. True.
You think so?
Yeah, I think if you're locked in a cage and all you've been doing was chilling, essentially.
Yeah, but I mean, chilling. Really?
What's it making music, writing down his thoughts? So maybe his whole music could change. Because what we know him as is the hot nigga, the dance, and now he can come out and just be super. Does he regret what he did to go to jail?
He's gonna come
being involved in that life.
He be like my brother.
True. Maybe he's been reformed. You know,
he's not gonna say the N word, nothing.
No,
he's gonna
not
say
at all.
My brother.
But could you say
my brother
with the Bible in his hand?
Prison does reform people though. Does it do a good job of reforming people? Is that it's?
I think it's an individual. I think you can't reform anyone that doesn't want to be reformed, and that's why prison gets a bad rap on that. Like, nigga, this is not a mind control.
But there's different prisons. Have you ever seen prisons in like Europe where they let them go out and they don't have them strapped, shackled, and putting in an orange jumpsuit? Like they go out and get a job, depending on their felony and like what their sentence is. Because someone that like the non-violent offender, why are they in there locked up where they can't even do anything when like maybe they got into some type of like car accident where they were like maybe driving not sober. Like the only way to make them better is like, look how important your life is if you need to get it, like to get a job. Like we can't lock you away. They're going to be depressed and they're going to get even worse when they come out. But if you let them maintain their sense of self, you know,
the thing
it makes
with prison is and maybe I keep this philosophy the rest of my life. I never even talk about prison because it's one of those things like I want the sausage, but I don't want to see how it's made. But at the same time, like, for example, like, no. In the sense of, we don't want criminals on the street. At the same time, I don't believe any man should decide that another man's life is worth the point of living in a 2x2 cell. So in my head, I'm like, okay, if you're a rapist, if you're a murderer, if you rob people, I don't want you on the street. But at the same time, I don't want a fucking person with a gavel. Boom, you're in prison for 30 years now.
Judges have a lot of power.
And now this person is feeling different on a different day. Boom, you get a year.
Judges have a lot of
False
power.
Convictions.
Judges have a lot of power. You watch For Life?
No.
But yo, how do you think a judge go to sleep? Be like, yo, he about to lay down.
They get their money. They lay down.
Big bed.
Hold on. I really gave homeboy 80 years.
Sleep good after that.
That shit is scary.
Yeah,
false.
And they get their pockets greased too. That's why judges make so much money and have so much power.
Facts.
There's actually a story about this lady, right? You're talking about false convictions, Bala. This lady, she was raped. Like, it was 1984. Someone broke into her house, raped her.
Wow.
Right? And in her mind, foresight, she coerced the guy into turning the lights on. And as she's getting raped, a very strong, intelligent woman is literally looking at this guy, trying to see every detail of his body so that she could get him arrested. As soon wait, what?
Bro, no funny, bro. That when people talk about that shit, like that shit is nasty.
What, rape?
Yeah, it's such a.
I think everyone feels like that. That is nasty.
That's like when you say
I
like.
was saying like my dick that ass hurt.
You need to get that checked out. That be happening.
I'm trying to figure out the mindset behind your dick hurting.
That be happening. Just like girls get their period. Their vagina be hurting, they be bleeding.
I don't know.
What are we talking about?
Nah, but that do make my dick hurt. It do. I understand what he means.
Think about it, like you really forcing your dick in a vagina. Like, how does that?
That's fucked up. That's
getting slapped.
That's an act that people that we all agree is a terrible thing to like take advantage. Yeah, take advantage of someone like that.
It's also an act. We
Some
also
people
try
love
to
that.
imagine that it doesn't happen as much as it did. Back in the day, them Vikings, they were wilding.
Damn. Genghis Khan? Genghis Khan?
Oh my God.
Pillaging.
How many children does Genghis Khan have?
Everybody.
We're all related to Genghis Khan, apparently.
But basically, so she was raped, right? And she was looking like to see who this guy was. He left. She ran to a neighbor's house, got, you know what I mean, tested and everything like that after. And then immediately after went to a lineup, right? And picked this guy out of the lineup. I'm trying to remember his name. Like, something Clarkson or something Thompson or something like that. And she was like, that's the guy. That is the guy that raped me. Wow. Right? 11 years later, it turned out he wasn't the guy that raped her, right? It was actually a guy who looked awfully similar to him. And he actually solved his own case because the guy was arrested and he was in prison 2 years after he went to prison, and he was in prison for life for a series of rape. So he gets it to bring back to court 3 years later. She comes to the thing. 2 guys are on the stands. She looks, no, I don't know who that other guy is. That is the guy that raped me. The guy that I already convicted is the guy that raped me. There's no questions about it. Nothing. That's the guy that raped me. 11 years later, it turned out that eventually, I think the DNA evidence happened during the OJ trial. And he was watching it on TV and he's like, oh, what? DNA evidence? And then they tested it. It was the other guy who he was in prison with and not him. He was freed. And now they're best friends. They're best friends because she's guilty, right? You gotta think that he doesn't have any animosity towards her. Like, yo, you were brutally fucking
She was
raped.
under a lot of trauma.
And she was like, in her mind, she already did all this work. I'm getting this motherfucker locked up. So when they brought 5 people to her in the lineup, she was saying, my man was playing tricks on me. I wasn't trying to find the right person. I was trying to find the person who most is related out of that lineup. And then her memory was when she seen that guy, the memory of the guy that raped her was now replaced with that picture. So you couldn't tell her that that's not the guy that raped her.
That's why eyewitness testimony isn't very reliable either.
It's so unreliable because we think memories are this clear like playback of what happened. No, it's our interpretation. Not even an interpretation, it's subconscious of what happened. Like this nigga doesn't remember that we went to Utica to watch the Super Bowl last year. When it 1000% happened.
Your memory is
bro. We went to Utica and watched the Super Bowl, bro. You know, look, right? Tell me where you were when Patrick Mahomes won his first Super Bowl.
I don't even know.
Nigga! Exactly. How do you not remember that? Exactly.
You would dues like that?
I guess.
Shout out to Clean Your System for that one.
dudes.
But basically, it's crazy that you say a lot of false convictions. It just so happened that this guy was in a time where DNA evidence was available. Right? And wasted 11 years of his life, but eventually came back and was like, you know what I mean? And now they're best friends. And they go on tours around the country telling people how unreliable even witness evidence is.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
It is.
And
you got to watch For Life, man.
His name is Ronald Cotton. Her name is Jennifer Thompson. Go look at it. It's crazy.
You got to watch For Life because it's not that exact story, but it's about a criminal getting evidence to free himself. It's based on a true story. Probably,
it's based on. I watched
you should watch it.
Episode.
It's good. It's good. It's a really good show, and like it gets very current as well with like what's happening now with like the people in the show are wearing masks. But it has like masks? But it has like the social cues that we have every day.
Oh, so they're
wearing
on?
it, and then when they encounter someone, then they're like, all right, let's both take it off. Like, it's okay. We're in a safe space. Like, we just wore it to get in here. So he wears that to go into the jail. But wouldn't you wear it if you're sitting down with someone that's in jail? Like, on the visits, they take it off. That's something I just found very interesting.
Interesting.
If you think about it. So that's why I like that. Like, I really, like, that helped me. It took a break and it came back. So just watching that, I was like, they're really trying to get to the social aspect of the pandemic now if this was going on.
Yo, I was watching Saturday Night Live, and when the whole episode, nobody's wearing the band's wearing the mask. Like the band that plays the intro song is wearing a mask. And then at the end of the show, everybody's now wearing a mask, even though these people that were just sitting right next to each other with everybody. And then they're hugging each other and they're dapping each other up. They're jumping on each other. It's like, what's going on?
I can't say it's a conspiracy
I feel better because
theory.
your mask is on.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, though. I wouldn't say it's a conspiracy thing about the mask, but just because, like, I'm a sociology major, I look at it from that point of view. Like, we all put on masks, and there's some people who are gonna look at that and be like, oh, it's okay because they have masks on. But then if you had a party and there's a video of us not wearing masks, doing the same thing, then be like, oh my God, they're responsible. If any of us got it, they'd be like, well, they deserved it. Look at them, they didn't have masks. Because that's what it's like turned into now.
If you meet somebody and like after 10 minutes of talking to them, you'll feel comfortable in taking your mask off.
That's a fact.
It's like,
it's
bro,
crazy.
But that's another weird thing about the society is that people are wishing sicknesses on other people because
so you think that's
they're
happening?
Not following, you know what I mean?
And what's they're following the laws. When you to your point, what are laws? Now that was like a mandate. Germs have been in the air, but again, I want to preface this like to the listeners, like I'm not insensitive to the people who may have lost loved ones to this disease.
No, it's Florida,
but just from a societal point of view, because think about all the things that people die from all the time. That you can say car accidents, but I'm not sitting here. We all drive cars, so anyone that gets sick, we all took our masks off at some point where it wasn't socially distant. So we're all responsible.
Yeah. That's idiotic.
So that's why I just think about it like as a sociology major, like the way the society is now because of this, it's not going to be the same. We're doing this like this is the last of people ever getting together. Maybe, who knows?
You think?
Nah, I don't think so. But I'm saying in a normal way where you're not going to be judged for it now.
Because you judge anyone even when they cough, bro.
Yeah,
cough or sneeze, you're like, yo, what the fuck? Get away from me.
But yeah. Do y'all really do
that? Not really, but
I mean, I feel like you should have the foresight to understand that you can cough too.
It's a joke though, but
it's a joke, but
we say
it's something that's on your mind. It's something that's on your mind because why you even have this thing on your face as it is?
Facts.
If someone coughs
because they said someone was coughing and sneezing and you could die from that. They really made you believe that if someone coughed or sneezed around you, you didn't have a face mask on, you would die from that. But now you're wearing it for so long that you're like, just bless you. You know what I'm saying? And you keep it moving. Some people, I mean, if you get like a season attack, you might be like, I don't have COVID, and it's like the joke. And some people might be like, haha. And then somebody like, chill.
Yeah, this nigga fall different. You be apologizing after you sneeze?
Nah.
Yo, my fault, everybody. My fault.
No.
I'm out of pocket.
I don't have COVID. I swear.
You know what? I'm saying I get wrong for that.
But that's a joke. That's a joke. That you're guaranteed to get laughs for that. If you sneeze 3 times, you don't say have COVID, and people around you don't laugh, then you're really in an awkward situation. Think about it.
Know your audience.
About it. Right or wrong.
Yo, y'all hear some crazy joke, bro? So I'm working with some dude, right? And he that time he's like, yo, bro, I'm tired. I'm like, word, you
Fatigue
Sleepy Joe. Man started blacking on me because I call him a Sleepy Joe. So.
Word.
Yo, that
so wasn't funny.
No, that is funny. That is funny.
Nigga, word. That shouldn't even deserve my word.
You're devastated.
But wait, hold on though. Yo, can we get back to the Bobby shit real quick? Yeah. I have a theory about Bobby Shmurda, right?
Is he woo or chew?
I don't know.
GS9.
I mean, Cho.
GS9.
Cho?
Don't disrespect.
What made him finally get free though?
But he served his time. He served his time.
But I thought he got crazy amount of years though.
He got 6.
GS9.
Oh.
He got 6.
I thought he got something like 10 or something.
Nah, he got 6. He did his time. He did all his time. He got out like a few months early, but he did.
Roddy got out a few months early too because of the
good behavior.
Oh, okay.
Niggas didn't beat up too much people in there. They was chilling. They was chilling. But my thing is like, you see, number one, I think Rowdy and Bobby, who's got flown on airplanes, they've been given gifts in, I'm sure by now, in millions of dollars. I seen Quavo had a stack of at least a few $100,000s and gave it to them. They owe all of that to 6ix9ine. Because if 6ix9ine didn't show you what snitching is like, you wouldn't appreciate it. You know what I mean? You need a rainy day to appreciate the sunny day. So 6ix9ine showed what, and you know what I mean, a fake nigga or whatever it may, a fake Mexican or whatever it may be. And they was like, okay, let's show these dudes love because they kept it real. And now we appreciate it more as a society. But I was wondering, why do people love, like, this is the best reception I've ever seen from anybody coming out of prison. Meek Mill, who's a bigger rapper than all of them, did not even get this type of love.
He did. Is he Meek Mill was with more wealthy people though. Like he got flown out of prison, go to a Phillies game, not a Phillies game.
But think about it. Getting flown out by a billionaire is different from getting flown out by a nigga with just as much money as you.
But I think it's more of a respecting, more of just 6ix9ine.
He got flown
giving
out.
Him praise.
Bobby Shmurda got flown out.
Well, Quavo flew him out.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
To Bobby Shmurda and 6ix9ine. Bobby Shmurda. No, I'm not saying comparing, but what I'm saying, the love that they are getting is more of a respecting of you guys were about to change the whole music industry, and then you got caught up with your situation, and you guys held it down, right? It's not more of like, oh, 6ix9ine.
No,
it's not more of 6ix9ine because 6ix9ine snitched that they're gonna get more praise because of 6ix9ine.
I think so. I think
it's a respect thing.
Yeah, it's more of a respect thing than anything of what they did and
as
what
a
they
rapper.
did to the music industry.
Well, I'm gonna get to that too because obviously a respect thing, people respect them. But I think Charlamagne said it. He was like, "Yo, after seeing what 6ix9ine did, we need to praise Bobby Shmurda when he come out." I think that ran through a lot of people's mind. Like, you know what? Look at what Bobby did. Because what Bobby did is what you're supposed to do.
But Bobby
you don't get clout for what you're supposed to do.
But Bobby didn't have one of the hottest songs out?
Yeah.
That was the hottest.
It's a lot of rappers that fit that bill, though.
Like who?
Meek Mill got arrested.
Career, but his trajectory was
Meek
so
Mill
quick.
don't need any of that. He got flown out by his billionaire friend.
Okay.
To a 76ers game. That's valid enough for Meek Mill status. But with all those GS9 members, not all of them, just Rowdy Rebel and Bobby Shmurda, whatever praise they got is understandable. They're not on Meek Mill level.
Yeah. Because Bobby Shmurda was out for like not that long, and he had the one single.
No, you're wild. Y'all forgot that nigga career, bro. He had mad songs.
Mad singles. That was his biggest. That was his biggest hit, though.
Yeah, the other one, Bobby Bitch. That was it,
bro. He have.
And I'm riding with the time.
That shit was fire, though. That was fire though, but you're trying to say he's on the same level as Meek Mill?
No. Y'all, I don't know where y'all take this conversation.
No, I'm basically saying that
Jack in Brooklyn. That's why.
That's a fact.
Fact.
Jack in Brooklyn.
It's a respect thing. It's a respect thing. That's why Quavo did it.
A rapper from Brooklyn who came out and snitched and everyone hated him didn't have an effect on people praising people for two people for being.
Yeah, it definitely did.
Just GS9.
Bro, it had to. That's common sense. That's human nature. Oh, you did that and you're the opposite? Okay, I don't like that, so I'm going to show you.
But you
love.
said there was other rappers you can compare to what was going on with Rowdy Rebel and Bobby Shmurda, and you compared it to Meek Mill. But is there another rapper? That means that
my thing is no one was happy like that. Like, these dudes are getting so much love. I sure Meek Mill friend showed him all this love, but everybody, I'm not talking about rappers, I'm talking about the blog sites, Breakfast Club, Joe Budden put the nigga as his fucking picture, for God's sakes, on his episode that he dropped.
Because Bobby Shmurda is one of the biggest dudes around the time.
Shine was one of the biggest dudes.
But again, Shine?
Yeah, bro, wow, that's a lot of rappers.
Listen, I know, can I ask you a question? Why you get so tight?
Because you're not letting me get to my point.
How long was Shine I'm trying to understand
for like
your point.
5 or 6 years. He locked up for a long time.
Sean was the hottest artist out.
He was one of them.
Why you so worked up?
Shiny dead ass ugly though. Shine.
He's out in
but I ain't gonna say that though, because he really about to kill Charlamagne the God.
He in Jamaica, right?
Who?
Wasn't Sean about to kill Charlamagne the God? Was it Sean? Boy-headed dude?
Yeah, he in jail. He was Diddy.
Yeah, right?
They say
he's about to kill Charlamagne.
Look
Allegedly.
it up. He's getting tight at Charlamagne on the Breakfast Club, I think.
I don't think Sean was ever on the Breakfast Club.
No?
Yeah.
Now you talking about about Fredro Starr.
Fredro Starr?
Yeah, you talking about a nigga from Knox or whatever thing is. But I guess what I was trying to say about Bobby Shmurda was that why are they getting so much love? And I think like it's a thing we're saying like Brooklyn, New York City people are the coolest people. Y'all ever heard that before?
Oh, wait, Sean,
okay.
I think all these rappers, what does a rapper do other than rap? What do they sell? Yeah. They sell being cool. They sell being extroverts. They sell being the life of the party, right? Right? And all their music videos. To be around. Yeah, fun motherfuckers to be around. Yeah. That's what they sell. That's what all their music videos portray. Then you meet some of them, it's like, yo, this dude is weird. Like, this dude is not this dude on camera. And I think Bobby Shmurda and Rowdy Rebel, when people hang out with them, I think they're like, wow, that's who we want to be. Like, these niggas is really that lit. A lot of people look up to rappers, yeah. They're really that interesting. We really want to hang out with them. They're funny, like.
What about Pop Smoke Def, though?
Pop Smoke, too. I think Pop Smoke was the same nigga.
But I'm saying Pop Smoke Def could play a role of how popular they are because they're well connected and in tune.
They're relatable. People related to Pop.
I'm not saying popular. What I'm saying is Pop Smoke Def could play a role on why people are showing them so much love and respect.
I think that has to do with it. I think the 6ix9ine situation has to do with it. I think it's sad for both situations, right? I think I was telling you this, like, 6ix9ine was, fuck what you think, he was one of the biggest rappers in the world. He was definitely the hottest rapper in the world. Pop Smoke was on that trajectory. And then you have two kids who was on that trajectory also, right? Who unfortunately got locked up. 3 of them being in Brooklyn at the same time would have been murder. We could have created our own Atlanta rap scene and the Sleepy Hollows and the Chef G's and whoever from Brooklyn. What do they say? Rising tides lifts all boats. Their status also would have been lifted by this 3-headed monster in New York City. Unfortunately, now Pop Smoke is dead. Unfortunately, now 6ix9ine doesn't even have a fucking foot to stand on in the rap game because no one respects him. Mm-hmm. Because, you know what I mean? So that's sad. For me personally, I'm sad for Brooklyn rap because the blueprint was there, bro.
Stop the violence. That's all it is. All of it, all the 6ix9ine was involved in it. Pop, they beefing with each other, the gangs.
The blueprint is still there. It's just, I don't know, because I mean,
you can't lose 2 stars like that and then still be kicking them.
Nah, you're right, but there's still stars
what
there.
You mean
like, you got people like Nas. I mean, Nas from Queensbridge, right? But you got Davies. You know, you got people really in the industry from New York.
But then
you got Fat Joe. I mean, these are old heads. What I'm saying is though, but what I'm saying though is like Fat Joe got credit. Like Fat Joe could connect a young kid with this person. But shout out to Kodak, you know what I'm saying, to reaching his hand out.
To both your points, when you said, do you think it affects people seeing those 2 different paths that people chose, the rappers, by not telling and telling? Shout out DJ Nick, who you had on the podcast. He's a Brooklyn rapper. Yeah, that's a really good podcast. I listened to him and he was talking about that with the Brooklyn rappers and how they beef with each other and how it's sad. And he's a rapper himself from Brooklyn. He understands. Mm-hmm. So,
but yeah, honestly, bro, shout out to the whole Brooklyn rap scene. I feel like I know Bobby Shmurda them is about to come and set shit on fire.
Yeah, I hope
he's got
and then maybe he'll be the new era of New York rapper that really solidifies what New York is, and it's a New York nigga. You don't tell, you come back out and you still make fire.
Mm-hmm. He's got the spotlight now. Everybody's tuning in for
that's
sure.
New York. That's as New York as it gets.
Word.
Facts.
Shout out to Bobby Shmurda.
About all this gang shit in Brooklyn, though, I was watching this video the other day on the woos.
The woos and the choos. You sent it to me. I didn't even
watch the choos.
There's this like British guy. One side of his hair is red, blonde. The other side's brown. He's like, the woos and the chos. Rapping over drill beats. How do you know all about this
Where's
stuff?
he from? Vice?
Gangland.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I was watching
Gangland, Vice.
I was watching on YouTube.
He's hilarious. It's so funny that exactly what you expect is hilarious.
How does he know about all this stuff?
Well, he studies it.
Oh yeah.
The funny thing, I have a funny story about that is watching one of the Bloods and where they have the guy break down the jargon of like the gang terms and everything, and it was like she had a baby, which is called the blood drop, and they do like the backdrop with the definition, like typing like blood drop down.
It's the same guy.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same
she
guy.
had a baby.
And they call it a blood drop. So
what does that mean?
They're doing a documentary on the Bloods gang.
But what does that mean, though? What
she
does
had
blood drop mean?
A slang term for when a woman who's affiliated with the Bloods has a baby by a blood member.
Oh, that is hilarious.
So he's breaking it down and he's like making it seem like it's like scientific. They pause it, they put like the backdrop where they type the definition. And it's like, he says like blood drop. When a female has a baby by a blood affiliated member. And I'm like,
teach us something else. This is hilarious. You remember anything else?
Oh, man. That in terms of like gang, that was a funny story that I could say. But funny stories, I could tell you a funny story when I was in like eighth grade. No, I was younger. I might have been younger.
Okay.
And you know the term like cold turkey, when you quit things cold turkey?
Right.
So I never knew the context of the term. Like I thought quitting cold turkey just meant you quit like no. People refer to it for smoking. So I always thought it was like whenever you're smoking.
Stop smoking.
No, when you're smoking, the act is called cold turkey for some reason.
That's hilarious.
So that guy's cold turkey. Means he's smoking.
There was a kid and he was like smoking on the bus, and I was like, "Yo, what is that? Cold turkey?" Oh. And he was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yo, shout out to Jermaine just stepped in the building.
What's up?
Where'd you want at?
What up?
No copy. But you thought smoking was cold turkey.
Cold turkey in like sixth grade.
Yo, Paul, no funny shit. They always like, before I met you, they always said like, yo, Nick and Paul is alike. That's some Nick shit. That's some dumb shit that Nick would have been thinking.
Yo, but the story, like, he was looking at me, he dead ass blew the smoke out the window. Was like, shut the fuck up. Like, I was maybe like sixth grade and I was so confused. So I was like, I thought that was a term for it. Why is that wrong? And then I realized why, and it was like, wow, I was dumb as fuck.
Yo, Paul, talk about what it's like being a black man who's not really black. You're Colombian, right?
Yeah, but I'm black But in terms of what people
you're not
would say,
African American,
yeah,
and people expect you to be African American when they see you. I feel like.
But what does that mean? What do you mean? What does that mean? In terms of my upbringing, it's almost I was raised by first generation immigrants, so it's the same mentality where how we look at society, you just work hard. So when people who get caught up in the color of their skin, they might, I grew up black. Other people may have judged me on the color of my skin, but I really didn't have that in my head. Because I watched my parents come from the country, speak a language with an accent, work amongst white people in a world where people may say, white supremacy and succeed to give me a good life. So, like that gives you a different outlook on how you look at everything too. But it's true. Like, it's a joke though. Like, I didn't grow up black. Like, I don't know some of the songs. Like, I was saying, like, at the barbecues, I just be fitting in, though. I can slide in with it. So,
what music you listening to, though?
Honestly, I haven't listened to a lot of music lately. I just listen to a lot of podcasts all the time. And, like, audiobooks. Like, Relentless, I just finished. That was Relentless, a good book. Yeah, because I heard you talk about it on the podcast.
Jay West actually brought that up to us, no? Relentless. Where's that book from?
I think that's from Chris DeJoria.
Yeah, it had to be.
I think so.
But I thought you brought it up. I just remember it from the podcast, and I feel like I remember you bringing it up. But I just finished listening to it this week.
What is that book about?
About Michael Jordan and being a cleaner and a closer and everything.
That's Chris.
Yeah,
that was
okay.
Tim Grover, Michael Jordan's.
That was a really good book. Really good book. Word. I liked it a lot, especially like coaching and everything, because I'm gonna be coaching. So that book almost gives you the guide on how to coach certain players who are great and already know that they have it in them. And the greatest coaches could do that for their players. They should know, like, I don't really have to say much to him. He's going to get it done. He's going to be the one that's going to lead my team on the floor, because that's what it is when you're coaching. If you have good players, you have to know how to use them and how to let them just be themselves.
What have you learned? How long you been coaching now?
This is my first year.
Really? Yeah. But how long? Like for a few months?
I had a job where I was like a youth soccer coach, but it was like training. So now it's different. So I started off training, but I know the tactics of the game. So now this is where it all just comes together, like your knowledge of the game and also training players to like be fit and train for the sport that they're playing and everything. So yeah, this is my first year. But I've always worked with kids. So I guess it's the same thing. That's why people love coaching, because you're just working with people that are loving, like below, like an age younger than you. And it's something that you all have like a common goal that you want to win, you know? And you're interacting with people. So
it's
dope, the same thing.
That's dope. What do you feel like you could bring? Because right now everything is, you saying like your meetings and stuff are all.
Yeah. So I had a couple meetings this week for the season started next week. So there's coaches meetings and refs meetings to get like updates on the rules and stuff and what it is. So it's a different year, especially with the pandemic and everything. So kids wearing masks, like what's the rule on that? So
that's probably dangerous as fuck to play soccer with a mask on.
They incorporate a water break.
You know how there's a lot of people that died from playing soccer before, right? Like just from, you do so much running. A lot of people catch like cardiac arrest and heat exhaustion and whatever. To have a mask on running 100 miles in 90 minutes is probably dangerous as fuck. Yeah.
Well, the but that's why they don't wear it in the professionals. So
just let the kids wear
it. For the younger kids.
Let's see how it works.
For the younger kids, it's 30-minute halves, 35-minute halves, and it's with the mask on, but apparently they're not that the refs really don't care this year. They do care. They
understand,
but they understand
you
need to breathe. So they have a water break as well. They incorporated it, and like as long as you're staying a distance from the player when you don't have it on, I guess you slip your mask up.
Wait,
it's interesting.
Hold on, wait.
It's interesting to say the least.
It's a joke, but I feel like you and Malcolm should link up because y'all both coach football.
Yeah.
Right.
They work together.
No. Wow. You heard of it? Gotta get it?
Link up?
No. Football. Football.
Link up.
Soccer.
He coaches soccer. He plays football.
Oh, you both play football.
They both play football. They're both football.
I thought you were trying to put them on to each other.
Hey, yo, fight them on that.
Get them dating.
He's a fight about it.
Did y'all ever see it? It was a video of it's either a soccer coach, like an American football player. He went over to England to coach soccer.
Oh, Ted Lasso, the show on Apple TV?
I don't know.
Oh, there's a show on Apple TV, Ted Lasso was really good. That was another show that made me like really know I was going to enjoy coaching, because it was a funny take on a coach that like almost didn't know. Because this is my first year. Of course, I have like expectations, but I was like nervous. So I was laughing because he was a football coach that goes over to England and he's a soccer coach. and he coaches like Premier League team, so they make it seem as if it was. Yeah, it's a really good show. You should watch it. It's mad funny. It's Ted Lasso. He's from what shows is he on? Like Saturday Night Live or
Ted Lasso? I don't know.
Do y'all want to watch this video?
Jason Sudeikis is an actor. Jason Sudeikis is an actor.
It's hilarious. Hold on. I want to watch it because
Is he a basketball coach?
No,
soccer coach.
He's a soccer coach. He goes to coach American football. He thinks it's the same thing. But it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yo, no funny
it's
shit.
It's a really good show.
Yeah, this was dropped in 2013. I seen this shit mad long ago. I've been trying to find this.
Ted Lasso came out this year on Apple TV. So you're saying that this is like
they might just put it on Apple TV. Oh. This was been out.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, bro. Let's watch this.
Oh.
You never seen this one?
So they made this an actual show.
Implement my coaching style. Football is football no matter where you play it. You got grass, you got cleats, and you got helmets with masks on. Football in the States is my specialty, but they have a different kind of football over here. Yeah. Circle them up, have them put on their pads, and let's start playing.
This show's hilarious.
Small similarities. Hey, team I coach, they're going to play hard for all 4 quarters. Okay? What's that? Okay, halves. They're going to play hard for 2 halves. And we're going to play till there's a winner and there's a loser. What's that? Okay, till there's a winner, a loser, or a tie. You can tie. If you tried to end a game in a tie in the United States, that might be listed in Revelations. Call us for the apocalypse. If we're having goals this season, absolutely. We're going to win a lot of games. We're going to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, Premier League table.
Again, my job has got a lot easier. No playoffs. Why do you do this?
Yeah, I love soccer, so don't slander the sport.
What the hell? That's not a tackle.
Oh, shit. That's lit.
Soccer tackle, sir. Prepare for this job. Read a lot of books, watched a lot of game films. But to be honest with you, the best way to learn how to play this game is to play this game. Square, goal, something, goal.
This is hilarious.
They made a show. So this came out in 2013. They made a show in 2020 with the same actors in the same league in England, but it was just a take, I guess, on this skit, and they made a full-length show and they put other characters. So that's funny that they did that. It's a really good show. It's funny.
You learn. I'm about to watch that.
Yo, it's a funny show.
When I seen this, I'm like, yo, this is the first time I've seen like kind of like the sarcastic kind of like comedy kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I've never really been exposed. This is like when I first came to America. I seen that.
But you're also learning too about a whole other sport because in the show he's learning. But I'm biased because I watch out of soccer.
I was playing football at the time, and I just came from playing soccer my whole life.
Oh, you played soccer growing up? I didn't know that.
I'm nice, bro.
Yo, nice with the feet. We got to get you in the field. I like Malcolm. You got to get you in the field.
I'm not. You never.
I'm gonna get a team. I'm gonna get a men's league, a men's team, and just get everybody thinks they can play.
We should do that. That would be very beneficial.
I could put you in you could be goalkeeper.
Nah, I can't.
Nah, but you'll play with your feet though. You play with your feet. Nah, you'll get in the back and you can come up.
I'm not a good goalie. I've played goalie before. I'm too fat.
So where did you play when you played soccer?
I was a defender. I was a left back.
Me too. Oh, wait, you lefty?
Nah, I'm righty.
Oh, you used to cut in on the left side.
I don't remember that shit.
He like, yo, what you talking about?
What this nigga
I play basketball.
I used to kick the ball hella hard. That's what I did. Nah, but I grew up playing soccer my whole life though.
Yeah, it's a great sport.
I feel like that's why I was good at football because my footwork was just so superior to everyone else.
Your feet dexterity, using your feet wasn't like stepping over your feet. You're using it. Soccer is you're playing with you're using your feet as your hands.
Yeah,
with your head.
Yeah,
but it's a chess match too. Because this is me being the biased coach because I just love the tactics of it.
What do you think? Right? Do you think soccer is a harder sport? And the reason I say that is because in football you can start. There's mad NFL players start playing football at 15, and oh my god, the JPP, right? Or the guy who played basketball his whole life, Pierce or whatever his name is, and then became like a Hall of Fame NFL player. You don't remember? He played college basketball his whole life, and then he turned into like a tight end for the Chargers, I believe.
Okay. Every sport has its own, as much as physical, it's mental too.
Antonio Gates.
He played basketball all throughout college. Soccer, you can't do that. Soccer is a sport where not only do you have to play from a kid, you have to play in the right system as a kid. This is why American teams don't produce good. It's like, bro, you think about America, bro, you have millions of people, way more people than Brazil, way more soccer clubs in Brazil. Mm-hmm. Why are they always better?
I read a really good book and it explains exactly why.
Why?
It was a coach and it was like called "What's Wrong with Us," but like U.S. soccer, U.S. men's soccer, and he talks about even just the way that we use our country for qualifying, because other countries, when you play in Mexico, they put us in the high altitude, so you're already playing to their advantage. All for international, just in itself.
You think that's why?
No, it's not. So that's just one of the parts that he talks about. Us as a country, because we're so big, we should be able to get the best talent from all around the world, from all around our country, because it's so vast, and the way they can play in different parts of the world. Like where you live can have an effect on how you play. Because maybe if you play in a more how-to area like Colorado, your fitness is going to be better.
You think it's a fitness issue?
No, not a fitness issue. It's definitely a technical issue as well. And the way the setup is as how we filter our youth through the system. Because what the book was advocating for was the Team USA should have a president who knows a technical director. So what it is to keep the youth in the United States progressing in a way where their skills are maximized. And make the decisions that have effect on the football field. Because the people that make the decisions, it's just about the money for them. And it's not about the smartness of the game. Like when we play in Mexico, they put us in high altitude. How can we play here? We put them in we played Costa Rica and New Jersey, and we're not at home field advantage because the United States has a lot of Costa Ricans in New Jersey. So it was like a home game. And you think about that, and it's like someone who's trying to qualify for a World Cup, why are you going to do that? You should play Costa Rica and somewhere else in Colorado,
right?
Where it's high altitude. There's no Costa Ricans, and it's a home game for you. Who's going to go to a game in Colorado? Nobody. Costa Ricans or Americans. So it's a home game now. So it's just little things like that. And I was like, that's very true. Imagine if you really cared about the sport to that degree where it wasn't just, we built a new stadium in New York. We want to get the most money because we know that we're playing Colombia. There's a lot of Colombians there. That's going to give your team a disadvantage.
How much money's in soccer?
A lot. There was some corruption. There was some corruption.
Sports?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. The corruption
the corrupt scandal was OD.
You know the president of the FIFA scandal is Trinidadian.
Right.
His name is you can look it up.
Seth Blatter, I thought it was.
No, his name is he was one of them. He was a vice president.
Yeah, he's involved in it.
I forgot his name, but he basically, the reason why soccer is so corrupt is because there's not a league.
FIFA is like
it's
the league
a governing body. It's not a league. FIFA is not a league. It's a governing body, and because they have so many leagues that they oversee everything, they oversee the fucking the World Cup, everything. It's just so much money being bounced around countries. It's so easy for, we'll give Brazil the World Cup bid, but just slide me $100 million. We'll all split it up. You know what I mean? The corruption is crazy, bro. They get fired so quick. A lot of the ex-staff, when I was coming from Trinidad, they got arrested. They're all politicians in their country. That should show you how corrupted it is. Like the guy from Trinidad, he was a politician.
Just think about that. Shows you how global and worldwide soccer is as a sport. That every country plays it, and every country wants to get their hand in the popularity of a sport. Where it's corrupting government.
I don't think countries want to get it. And I think soccer just happened to be a sport that was played everywhere.
And that's why it is so popular. It is the most popular sport. If you ask
soccer,
I can answer your question about what's better between football and soccer. Like,
it's not even close. Football doesn't compare to soccer. I don't think any.
You think it's an American thing?
No sport compares to soccer.
It's number true. One, I agree.
As I explained, like you can be 15, never played sports in your life, and be the best football player in the league. You could be the best basketball player in the league. You're not doing that in soccer. You better had been grown up in a system with coaches teaching you all the different tactics for you to be able to
just pick it up and be great.
No.
I disagree with that, though. You could do that with anything, though. You could pick anything up and just, at 15, over something you've been doing since you've been 2, and just ended up being better at the thing you picked up at 15.
Well, it's also a matter of how much you work, but also how much you work.
It's too technical. You gotta understand, right?
Everything's technical, though.
No. Think it has to do with understand what I'm saying. This is what it is. Let me explain something to you. With basketball, with football, what do? You run with your feet, right? This is regular life movements. You run with your feet, you use your hands to catch stuff. What's football? You run with your feet, you use your hands to catch up. Same thing with basketball. You run with your feet, you use your hands to catch stuff. Soccer, you're running while control. Yeah, you're using your feet as a hand.
You got bounce at basketball though. But
you're
dribble at basketball, which is not a lot of people are good at.
So what? To your point,
understand what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, but I just disagree entirely with you.
No. You can't disagree because you will not find a good soccer player that started playing soccer at 15. These guys are all indoctrinated from 4 years old. This is why America is trash at soccer because their players are not.
In a way,
their players are taught.
Yo,
you could play football, you could play soccer. You could play every sport and different seasons. No, Lionel Messi was part of Barcelona at 11.
What?
Yeah. At 11.
Yeah. All those players.
Let me tell you something. When Lionel Messi was 11 years old, he's not Spanish, but he has Spain.
He has a passport because he had to go to that country as an 11-year-old.
There, bro, because they knew he was going to be great at 11. Yeah. And you know why they sent him? Because they realized he was short at 11. Most kids are short at 11.
Yeah.
And got him human growth hormone treatment at fucking 11.
So the bar is just set so high. But is what it is. You can't catch up to these guys. But it's not that they can't be great at the sport.
Well, it's relative. Yeah, you could learn and be good, but you're not ever going to be on that level.
In terms of being physically fit and what would make you good at whatever age, his technical skills are just, you can play on the field with him, but you'll see the difference in skill. It'll be very apparent. But that's what I also love about soccer because it's such a worldwide thing that happened. A kid from Argentina was so good he went to Spain. But their club system has that mentality that you're going to play this way from the time you get here.
They teach you systems
from the time you
also.
go up to the time you grow up. So their just technical ability of knowledge of the game is crazy.
Who does he play for now?
Huh?
Who does he play for now?
Still Barcelona.
Oh.
But that's just what it is for every country. And that doesn't happen here. But in all the European countries, they have some type of football association. We don't have like the football association doesn't really care about developing young talent. Imagine we had a youth academy in every state. I didn't mean to cut you off, a youth academy. And then the best from all those youth academies since they're growing up are going to play for the national team eventually.
And also that might even be a lost cause because now a parent is smart. If your kid is good at soccer and you see that, you don't send him to the fucking shit in New York City. Nigga, you're going to Barcelona. You're going to Chelsea. You're going and train
But why would you have to do that if we pay so much money to be a global powerhouse that each...
Oh, you can't be good at everything.
That we have someone you have like a coach in every state that knows what they're talking about because it's such a global sport. And they can develop youth in that state and then feed it to the system, to like the top level clubs in the country and make the national team better.
We have other sports that people do that with though, like football and we have crazy amount of youth football programs, crazy amount of youth baseball programs.
But why is a World Cup so important?
For example, Bala, that's a great point you just brought up. Do you know how they say, like, you look at quarterbacks, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, all these young quarterbacks go into the league now and dominate off rip. You know why? Because of the invention of 707. These quarterback skills are so high now. Facts. You can't start playing quarterback at 18 and be good. That's probably a good example. Quarterback.
Yeah.
You see how quarterback mentally, there's so much you got to know, and you got to have the physical ability to throw the ball crazy. There's no quarterback that was like, yeah, he was a basketball player in college, and they just threw him at quarterback. No, it's not going to happen. You better be playing that shit at 10 years old.
If we could say that we're something really good at developing as a country sports-wise, like athletes, yes, but for our sport, football would be a quarterback, someone that can play like overseas. If you grew up in the United States and you learned football in that way from a young age, you can play football anywhere else. The game's so simple to you. If you think about it.
And also, they have a system, I think. So, like, when Lionel Messi and them, they sign a contract with their like youth clubs in their local countries. And when Lionel Messi gets a $100 million contract from Barcelona, a certain percentage of that naturally goes back to that little club in fucking West Bubblefuck, little ass country in Russia or wherever this soccer player is from.
Yeah.
So money is consistently being fed into these international.
That's also why what makes a World Cup so important. If you think about it, the countries get behind it because it almost shows to the unifying of your country that you can get on the same page to accomplish its goal. But what it takes to get there, you really have to buy into the fact that people are going to get a fair shot in the academies and there's someone that cares about getting them up to the system, things like that. But also the country gets together because it's a global community. Like for soccer to work here, everyone has to buy in. Everyone has to realize like it's not about money. It's about these kids living a better life when they're in these academies and whether or not they come out of there. It's like college for them, but they're starting so much earlier. In the academies, they're going to school there, they're eating there. Most of them move away from their family, like Lionel Messi. But within his country, they didn't have something like that. He had to go to a more developed country, not in terms of soccer. to get shown.
Also, I was gonna add to that. Soccer's been around long. They were using heads in like the Middle Ages to play soccer.
What?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's what I heard. Who knows if it's real? But
it probably did. It probably do. I mean, what did the Indians do back in the day with the
Indian? I'm like, wait, I'm from Trinidad. Why are you asking me that? I thought you meant like Trinidad.
The Coliseum, where they used to fight lions. They used to put lions in there, and people were cheering it on. But we watch MMA.
Thanks.
Shout out to soccer though. Have you ever been to a World Cup game?
No, but I've been to an international game. It was like my team qualified, like a World Cup qualifier. I think it was. No, it was the Copa Libertadores. It's a tournament. It's a tournament. It's like the South American Cup.
Yo, send a message to all the Spanish listening people out there. Let me hear something.
What do you want me to say? Shout out to Nick. I'm gonna shout out the Nick and Mal podcast in Spanish so you can translate it. What's the you want me to say? Escuchen, tiene que ver el Nick and Mal show.
We don't know what you saying. Be honest with you.
But after you say, you gotta say that in Trinidad.
Oh, what? Now you go first, and then you tell me what you said.
Hey, what is in Trinidad? We speak English in Trinidad.
Nah, you know Trinidad
English.
I never heard you speak Trinidad. Hey, whatever. What's the language? I don't want to sound ignorant.
English.
They
speak patois.
Nah, I'm waiting on you to spit this Spanish shit. We speak English in Trinidad, just regular shit.
Yo, don't forget to like and subscribe to Nick and Mal page.
No se olvide a suscribir y gustar el Nick and Mal show en YouTube y Apple Podcasts.
Come on, it's a little bit of English in there. Nick and Mal show, Apple Podcasts. Let's go.
Say it in your accent.
Yo, shout out to the Nick and Mal show.
I'll say it for him.
Spotify, all of that shit. Bro, stop playing with me. You know I'm not going to do that, bro.
Why not?
Wow.
Because I'm not turning my language into a joke.
It's not a joke.
Do it.
He's speaking though. That's what he do.
You speaking. We want to hear it.
Bro, shut up.
I'm interested. I like it a lot. I try to decipher what you say when you're on the phone with your mom.
Malcolm is playing with me right now. He know that I doesn't do that, so I don't know why he's antagonizing me right now.
I want to hear it.
I just want to hear him speak.
That is.
When I speak to my mom later, y'all hear it. You know what I mean? I was bullied. When I first came to America, I was bullied for my accent. So it's like, you know what I mean?
That makes sense. You
traumatized. Just play around with it. Yeah, for a fact.
Respectfully.
Respect.
So why did you ask it if you know it was respectful?
Because I didn't know that was
you lied. Yeah, I told that story on Ease in the podcast.
Yeah, but I don't look at it as like, oh, he's getting trauma from that.
Nah, yeah. By the way, anybody looking at this, don't ever ask Nick to speak Trinidadian. I'm not. Now I know.
But yo, Nick, say it though. Tell him, Nick.
Tell him what?
Tell your Trinidad followers.
Hey, by the way, shout out to all my niggas in Trinidad, man. Leon, Levi, Auntie Kim, my grandmother. It's too much people to name. Y'all know who y'all are. I love y'all. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Y'all gonna be on the Trinidad on the Nick and Mal show talking crazy. Yo, we actually having one of my boys who I met in Trinidad, right? He was kicked, like he was bad as fuck. Mm-hmm. He lived in Brooklyn, bad as fuck, gang banging and shit. His mom sent him to Trinidad, right? He ended up coming to my class in high school, and this dude had the craziest American accent. We was all making fun of him for his American accent. Now he moved back to America, right? Now this nigga, I don't speak in my Trini accent at all. This nigga don't have an American accent no more. You feel me? What? But he's still living in America, full Trini accent. I'm like, yo, how did that happen? You feel me?
That's weak.
And we about to have him on the show, so I look forward to that.
Let's go.
Yeah.
But Paul, we happy to have you on the show, man.
Yo, thanks for having me on.
Did you get everything out that you wanted to say?
Yeah.
I feel like you got more to
the
talk
conversation
about.
Was so we talked about a lot.
Yeah. Too much to keep up with.
That's why when I listen back to this, it'd be like listening to a podcast I've never heard before.
Really?
Okay. Because I don't know what the fuck we talked about. You know what I mean?
Dudes don't even have a full thought.
Shout out to Nick and Mal. Shout out to the Nick and Mal show, man.
Shout out to the Nick and Mal show.
Shout out to the Nick and Mal show.
Nothing serious here.
Hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I mean? We about to have Malcolm's cousins, Jermaine and Joanna, in the building.
Nice
owners of Nice Sprinters and a whole bunch
nice entertainment. It's just nice, right? Yep. Nice.
All right, so look forward to that. Go tune into that after y'all listen to this. It's the Nick and Mal show, man.
You're
bow. Bow.
The double.
Give him a bow. Wait, do the intro. Now, let me hear you do the intro.
Pow! What's up, everybody? This is Nick and Mal Show. I'm your host, Nick and Mal. It's your boy.
One half.
I'm the whole Nick and Mal. How y'all folks doing? We got a great show for you today. We got Paul, Skrilla P in the building.
Now we really need that chatting about.
Yep. Ever told on a nigga? No. Ever squeezed the trigger? Yep. Ever set a nigga up? No. Ever helped a brother out when he was down?